Hey everyone, welcome back to the Keep Watching podcast, where we decide what to watch so you don't have to. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
And today we're going to be talking about Transit Love 3 episodes 14 and 15. And no more, because 15 was a million hours long. James, how you doing?
Good. Sarah.
Yes.
How much do you lift for the big three?
I lift nothing. I don't lift, bro. I got nothing.
Did this question confuse you, or do you actually think about it at all?
I don't know what the big three are.
Neither did I. I never
figured
heard
it was weightlifting bro talk, which is not a realm that I hang out in.
So what confused me was I didn't realize she said for the big three at first. And then Dongjin was like 400 kilograms. And I was like, that's 880 pounds. That seems like a lot of weight.
And I was like, what the fuck, man?
And I was like, oh, this is like 3 exercises, like total. Okay.
Oh, wait.
That's what it is.
You add them together? Okay. I thought it was like, this is your standard weight that you used to lift when you lift things for the
no.
three whatever bullshit.
880 pounds is insane. Like, he'd be the world record holder of whatever he was doing. He'd have the world record. Maybe not at every exercise, but yeah, it's like 3 exercises combined. It's a bench press, squat, and deadlift.
And why would you? I don't. Okay, if you add them all up, sure. I guess because it sounds cooler. Whatever.
Yeah, they're the big 3.
Okay. That explains a lot, because I was like, what is up with this man? This is ridiculous.
I'm not trying to say 880 pounds total isn't also amazing. I'm just saying, yeah, but I'm doing good, Sarah. How are you doing?
I'm doing real good. I've had off from work this week.
You seem a little annoyed by the length of episode 15.
I mean, it was 3 hours long, and it was just...
There's a thing that I think we don't emphasize enough
whenever
we complain about the length of the show.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours, 11 minutes with no commercials.
With no commercials and no pausing to write notes, pausing to like reorganize something, or just pausing to get up and walk around, because I've been hunched over a laptop on my couch for 2 hours already. You know, like, it's a lot.
Yeah. We've like compared it. I've compared it to like Survivor, and I was like, oh, when Survivor did 2 hours, that was too long. But that was 2 hours with commercials.
Yeah.
So if you skip the commercials, it was like an hour and a half. Plus, we're also doing episode 15. We asked people to let us know like what they thought, like how we should cover, what grouping of episodes we should do, and we got a lot of good suggestions from people, different ideas of what to do. And then we saw episode 15 was 3 hours, and we said, well, I guess we're only doing 2 episodes.
100%.
Like, timing wise, it worked out that we could. Yeah, that was all we could watch before like we're ready to record, basically. So
thanks for your suggestions. We tried, but oof.
I checked the later episodes. Like the next 2, I mean, like after you watch a 3-hour episode, when you see there's like only a 2-hour episode, you're like, oh, that's so short. But in reality, it's 2-hour episodes also is not short. So
yes,
there's a good chance we might just do 2 episodes and then maybe the finale is 1. But depending on the timing of everything, maybe we'll change it up and do 3 at a time at some point if we can. But we'll just leave it up to randomness a little bit.
Yeah.
People will have to be flexible. Okay. And yeah, let's not spend too much time on comments, since we're about to cover 5+ hours of content here. I just wanted to point out, Interregnum pointed out that we said in the last episode that the show wants the exes to get back together. That's obviously not true. What we always point out, what we mean to point out, is that the show does not want the exes to get over each other. Like
definitely.
They don't actually care if they pick each other in the end. They just want to keep that option available as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say at some point in these 2 episodes, I'm really at the point where like the show just needs to let the exes start dating each other. Like it feels like they're treading water, and I feel like we just kind of know where everybody's head's at, with a couple of exceptions of like maybe people are starting to make some moves by the end of this.
Right. I feel like the end of this, I kind of know where everybody's headed, right? Like people who were more of a mystery before, I'm clearer on now. Even if they weren't clear in their wording, the vibe I'm getting from them is, distinct characters now.
I feel like the only thing that can really, really shake things up at this point is if the exes start dating each other.
Yeah.
And then, maybe that will make the exes want to get back together, even when they seem like they haven't wanted to. But yeah, I'm still not hating this season.
Yeah,
That's
same.
how I feel. I was very worried, but maybe people are enjoying the season, but assume that we wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've been inoculated by last season and how bad Nayan and Hidu were, and maybe that makes this easier for us.
Yeah, everything with respect to Hidu is good. Like everything looks good with respect to Hidu. Yeah.
On the Hidu scale, we're coming in low, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I will also give Interregnum big props for prolific semicolon use this week in comments. Not gonna read all of it because it's pretty long, but I mean I did read it, so I appreciate the semicolons.
Okay. All right. We jumping into this?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Love 3. Where did we leave off? Or what did we talk about last time? We traveled to Jeju. We got the X reveals.
Yes, everybody knows what's up. We got new people. We got dates for those new people, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we're coming in at in episode 14, right? The new people got dates.
Yes.
Minhyun and Seokhyun, and Jong-un and Dongjin.
Yes.
Minhyun is Songjong's ex, and Jong-un is Kwantae's ex. That's where we are.
Yes.
Let's go.
And now we're coming on day 2 at Jeju, right? To have those dates for the new people.
Yeah. We got a new host for episode 14. The new host is rooting for Juwon and Seokhyun to get back together. Let's go, Sarah. Come on. That's what I'm rooting for.
Is that what you're rooting for now?
I think for different reasons, but yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm rooting for it because I want to see all the domino effects of after that happens.
Okay, like that's fair. You want to see the chaos,
the chain reaction of chaos if that happens. Would be
Seokhyun coming into her full power and just wreaking havoc. Yes, okay, yeah, I can appreciate.
And by the end of episode 15, I think we're full go on the Seokhyun. Seokhyun's just gonna turn it on here. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it seems like this new host is like a Juwon fan. And she wants to see Juwon get what he wants, and she thinks that Juwon wants Seokhyun.
I think that's an accurate read on him.
I just want the dominoes to fall.
You want the chaos, yeah.
Yeah. Don't care about Juwon at all, but they gave us shots of everybody sleeping. All the women are sleeping in the 2-person bed.
Yes.
There you go. Are you disappointed?
Yes. Terribly.
Okay. Terribly.
I wanted that awkward Juwon Chungjin same bed.
You almost just turned the show off.
No, I was just like, I guess. Sure. This is what we're doing instead.
Yeah, so Jong-un is like walking around in the morning. She's like narrating what she's doing. He's like, how do I get over there? Do I have to walk this way or this way? Like, what am I doing? Yeah, she's all saying it out loud.
Totally lost trying to get to one of the other houses and just like, I don't know, ends up waving at Dongjin from across a barrier and just like, I don't know how to get to you.
How do you get to you?
It's pretty cute.
So then in the morning, we have Dongjin with Kwantae, Hyewon, and Yoojung. And then Dongjin is like telling them about how Juwon lied in the talking room.
Well, right? He's not giving names, but he is saying, I mean, Kwantae figures it out. I think he's just saying,
I think they all know who they're talking about.
I think Kwantae knows because
Kwantae knows. Okay.
Like he knows that everybody picked Seokhyun for that date, right?
Okay, yeah, true.
And I don't think the women know.
Well, Seokhyun overhears this and somehow knows it's about her, though.
Yes, because she knows she got picked for that date, right?
Okay. So you think Hyewon and Yoojung like don't know what Dongjin's talking about at all? Like Yoojung doesn't know that like Juwon's a liar.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, I didn't think about that. Okay, but then so basically Seokhyun. The major thing is Seokhyun has like overheard this story that Juwon is like lying about what she likes to the other guys.
Yeah. Which put in your pocket for later, I guess.
Which you take as a good thing if you're Seokhyun, because it's like, oh, it must be lying for a reason.
I guess.
What would be your gut reaction if you heard like, oh, your ex was lying to?
I'd be like, oh, well, that's
other
gross.
Guys that you might. Oh, just gross.
Yeah, that's gross. Don't like that.
Even if you wanted to get back together with your ex, that would be your opinion.
I might overthink it.
If you want to get back to your ex, you'd be like,
if you want to get back with your ex, you can frame it in a particular way, but I don't like in a isolated mindset that I'm in now that has nothing to associate with any particular person. I am just like, that's gross.
Okay. Now, this is what I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in like the brown house.
Yes.
During this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But Dongjin, Dongjin, Hyewon, and Yoojung all sleep in the same house, right? I think I have this right. And then
yes.
Seokhyun and Kwante live in this brown house where they came. So like Dongjin, Yoojung, and Hyewon like woke up and decided to like go visit Kwante. Like that's the dynamic here that happened.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I was just like, it just seemed like a random thing. I don't know. You don't think? I don't know. It's just
a
random group of people.
Sure, why not?
That led to Seokhyun overhearing this.
I mean, it makes sense that Hyewon and Dongjin are hanging out, right? They've been vibing for a while.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird. I guess it was that it was Kwante, I guess, was the person they were like, wait, let's go talk to Kwante.
Well, I think, like, he might not be having success on dates, but, like, I think he is popular as a person to hang out with.
Okay.
And, like, talk to, especially among the guys. So I could see Dongjin going, like, yeah, I want to go hang out with Kwante.
Okay.
Or it could be because he's going on a date with Kwante's ex today, and it does come up where the reason they talk about Jew Online is because Kwante's like, hey, you can ask me anything, and Dongjin's like, nah, don't even bother.
Everybody's a liar because of
So maybe like one of the women was like, let's go talk to Kwante before you go on a date with his ex or something. I don't know.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah. Who did they leave behind though at Dongjin, Hyewon, and Yoojung's house? Who's Dongjin's roommate?
Minhyung.
Oh, Minhyung. They left Minhyung behind.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Are you like a big Minhyung hater?
I was trying to like for most of these 2 episodes, I was like, wait, we didn't like him before. I don't think I'm not
we had
particularly
bad vibes.
bothered.
I never said
Yeah. Like we got bad vibes, and I couldn't remember exactly what from. But for like most of these episodes, I'm like, I don't hate this guy. This guy's fine. And then the end came, and I'm like, oh no, I don't like this guy.
I actually like. I feel like it's hard to say because we only have Songjeong's side of the story in terms of how he behaved.
I mean, he admits to some things too, and we do like we'll get to it when we get to it, but like just the way you see him speak to her when they're alone, I don't like either.
Really? Okay, you'll have to break something down for me.
Absolutely, I will.
The bad guys we had before was just like, oh, he's like, let's not fight, but it's like, oh, are we just assuming we're fighting? So, but yeah, I had the same feeling where I was like, I feel like he hasn't done anything really bad.
Yeah,
until we got to the backstory.
This point,
but even the backstory is from Songjeon's perspective. So I'm like, I don't know.
Oh no, there's shit he does in real time at the end of this episode that I am not pleased with. So we'll get there.
Oh, I think you might know what you're talking about. Okay. All right, what's next? Oh, we're getting some dates. Jong-un and Dongjin date, right?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, they are going horseback riding because she likes horseback riding.
Jong-un is driving on this date, so watch out.
Oh yeah,
driving gets people.
That's true. And I love it. He starts off, he's like, I bet you're a good driver before she like even pulls out. And she's like, I think I am. But people don't always feel comfortable in my car. So oops, sorry. Like way to put in some confidence here.
Yeah.
About how long this drive is gonna be.
The show instantly makes it seem like as they like first got on the road, she was like, Dongjin, how much do you lift for the big 3? And he was like, over 400 kilograms. And I was like, what are we talking about? That's a lot of weight.
But yeah, I guess it's in the context because like when she first asked him on this date or told him where they were going, she's like, yeah, we're going to go work out. And by workout, she means horseback riding.
At some point on this date, I saw the words, Dongjin gets dominated by a horse.
Yeah. I was real confused about this part where they're just like riding around in a circle, like practicing technique or whatever. And she rides a horse in a way I don't think I've ever seen a person ride a horse, but that doesn't mean it's the wrong way. Like where she's like never actually making contact with the saddle with her butt. She's just kind of like
momentum going.
I guess. I don't know. I've been on a horse once, but it was just a sit on this horse while it goes somewhere. So what do I know?
I bet she knows what she's doing.
I'm sure she does. It was just curious to me that I've never seen anybody ride a horse like that.
Whatever, horses. Okay, we're going to get food.
Yep.
She just straight up asks him if he wants to get back with his ex.
Yeah, I admire this like straightforward attitude. It's great.
He says he's not considering it.
Yeah, and she is in the same boat. She's like, me neither. You say it like you don't believe him.
I mean, Dongjun is like pretty awful in these two episodes.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Like he keeps phrasing this like I don't want to get back with my ex, but he never actually says it like I don't want to get back with her. Like at least especially when he talks to Dahe, his like the way he says it is like the point of the show is not to get back together. Like if we want to do that, we'll do it after the show. Like we came here.
Oh.
Like I don't know. Like that's the vibe I get. Like he's like avoiding answering the question because like he doesn't want to say he doesn't want to get back together, and he just wants to act like, oh, I've never watched the show before, and exes don't get back together on this show, so why are we even talking about getting back together? Because it's not even possible that exes could get back together on a show called X Change. You can't not change if it's called X Change.
Okay. I've been reading this vibe from him as him just like through sheer force of will trying to tell himself he doesn't want to get back with her and just like eliminate it as a possibility, even though like deep down that's all he really wants.
Could be that too, but he's coming up with a lot of like BS excuses to acting like the TV show doesn't even allow you to get back together, which is like he's like that's literally not what the show is. What are you talking about? Honestly, these two seem like a good match. Like they're both like self-focused people, and they both kind of have this moment where they like admit to each other that like how their focus on themselves may have hurt their relationship with their exes.
And in a way where it's not like, oh yeah, I've seen that and I'm gonna change. It's like, no, I think this is the right way for me to be. This is how I am, just so they're on the same page, which is good.
Yeah, which I think is like a good healthy realization to be like, I definitely want to stay focused on myself, so I need somebody else who's also focused on themselves if I'm gonna have a partner.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense.
I think like the things they talk about, like on paper, they make sense together. I would say I did not feel like there was a big spark between them or anything.
Yeah.
It didn't seem particularly cute like other dates he's been on or other dates just other people have been on.
Yeah. I just wonder if like if these were in the house day one and they were like dated in the first 2 episodes, like
yeah, that would probably change things.
Different, yeah. So I think it's just bad timing. I don't know how interested Jong-un is in Dongjin. Chances are she might not be that interested based on how most of the women have reacted to Dongjin.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem like a good match, but yeah, didn't seem to be any sparks or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, the show just kind of got this date out of the way before heading to the opening credits. So
yeah.
I feel like that's also never a good sign.
Probably true.
Yeah. All right, Minhyung and Seokhyun date.
Yes, and they go painting.
This painting, this kind of painting did not seem like a great date.
Oh, really? Did the activity itself? Because I feel like any date Seokhyun goes on seems like a good date.
Oh yeah, I mean, no one's ever gone on a date with Songkyun and had a bad date with Seokhyun.
Right.
I refuse to believe that. But the activity itself, I feel like, was not very interactive, which is interesting because I feel like I don't know if it was the act of like painting on a canvas just makes you feel like you have to focus or whatever. But like later on, Hui-hyun and Songjeon have a very similar date where they just like design a t-shirt design on like a tablet.
Yeah.
But they were able to like talk each other and like goof around while they were doing it. Whereas like they were like sitting there with their like paints and being very serious about focusing on their painting. And it like, I don't know. Maybe it was just their chemistry wasn't there. Like I guess they could have talked if they wanted to, but they just like kind of didn't.
I think also the setup has something to do with it because they are meant to like be painting and then surprise each other at the end, I think. And so they're like facing each other, but have these easels in front of their faces. If they had been like side by side and they could be like, oh, you're doing that, that's interesting. Or, oh, how would I do, like where you can interact with the thing you're making together. I think that would make a better experience. Yeah.
Yeah. If they just watch each other, maybe it'd be better. Yeah. Yeah. I think I would like that better.
But again, Seokhyun can make anything a good date. So like, it seemed like they had a good enough time, I guess.
It was fine by the end. I think by the end, it's because they went and got food and did other things. I don't think the painting was great. Yeah. Yeah, they get food. Yeah, again, I don't think anything super interesting happened here.
I mean, I don't know that it was interesting for them as a couple or date or whatever, but like they had to write wishes on a thing that then later the restaurant set on fire and it looked absolutely gorgeous and crazy. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that looks like a good time.
There were a lot of sparks on this date.
Just not between them.
Yeah.
Just literal sparks,
at least not from Seokhyun. From what we get to know about Minhyung later, I feel like it makes sense that he likes Seokhyun.
Okay.
Guys, I feel like part of the reason that Seokhyun is so pleasant is that she's like incredibly polite as like she almost seems like somebody who's been like trained to be polite no matter what the situation is.
Okay.
And it sounds like that might be something Minhyung would vibe with. So I think it makes a lot. From Minhyun's perspective, Seokhyun seems like a good match for him, but I don't think Seokhyun's anywhere close to considering Minhyung at this point.
I mean, she did say he was great and attractive. So
yeah, but
there's at least a little
something amazing no matter who she went on a date with. She could go on a date with
really in a confessional.
She would say something amazing.
I don't think she'd say something amazing about somebody who was like truly awful. I feel like
he went to
in a confessional. In a confessional, she has enough backbone to be like, that guy sucked. I think.
Huh? I don't recall her saying terrible things about Ju-won in confessional after their bad conversation, but.
Well, yeah, but that's because she's like still feeling things about him or whatever. I don't know, but I don't take her as a entirely like doormat kind of person. You know, like if somebody was mean to her, I think in a confessional she'd be like, "What the fuck's up with that guy?" You know?
Really?
Where like in the moment she might like de-escalate things and still be polite or whatever, but I think she'd talk sass in a confessional.
I don't think she would ever do what I've been calling Yu Jung out for, which is like just not being into a guy and then like talking shit about him. Like
but if
she's
someone
not into
was
a guy, she'll just come
downright
up with something nice
terrible, if someone was downright terrible, or if there were no sparks, I think she'd just be like, he was nice enough, but I don't feel anything.
Oh no, I don't think she would say that because that's what this is. Well, I don't think there's anything.
But she like even says like she felt comfortable and they got close, and that feels like there must have been something that was there that was at least okay, right? I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I just think she's gonna say something nice, even if there wasn't much.
Okay.
You know, why not? Just say something nice in the confessional. It's up to them. It's up to the storytellers to decide if they want to use it or not.
I guess that's true.
Okay. Working back to the house, right? Oh yeah, we only had 2 dates at this part. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is the beginning of shenanigans, right? Do you have anything before we get to the beginning of shenanigans?
My notes say dinner making, and then I wrote Sarah want to explain the situation that happens here. So
okay, yeah, shenanigans time.
I forget what happens.
Okay. The one thing I will say is that earlier, Dahae and Changjin, because they've been apparently spending the entire day together.
Oh yeah, this shit is so dumb. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just remembered. Okay. That's why it was so dumb I didn't even want to write it down. That's why I wrote down Sarah. You can just explain this.
But there is like one funny thing that I just find funny is that, you know, there's that big patch of grass out behind all the houses, right?
Yeah.
They just go out there and they're just like amazed. They're like, oh my god, the lawn, it's incredible. And I get that they live in the city, they never see big giant patches of grass, I guess, but it was just like, oh my god, so cool. I'm like, it's a flat bit of grass, guys.
Was it the grass? Oh, I assume they were talking about the tree because the tree was kind of.
Oh well, it just seemed like they got real pumped before they even got to the tree. But anyway,
okay.
So a bunch of people go get groceries. Ju-won says he's gonna cook, and Dahae's like, "Yeah, let me know when. I'll go help you cook." But Ju-won calls up to her while she's in the bathroom at their house and says he's gonna go cook. Doesn't wait for her to acknowledge. Doesn't wait for her to come down, and just goes off and cooks. And then her, up in the bathroom, having never heard it, never goes to cook and just spends her time chatting with Changjin because they like to chat a lot. And then everybody eventually gets into the kitchen and starts eating. And I guess Dongjin shows up first and kind of gets the story from Ju-won that Dahae was supposed to come and cook, but nowhere to be seen. And as time progresses and more people show up and go, oh, where's Dahae and Changjin? Oh, they're just hanging out, I guess. Dongjin starts getting more and more annoyed. And it's just entirely him being jealous, but he's gonna like be real shitty at her when she finally does show up, and it sucks.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I've been really like enjoying Dongjin up to this point, like rooting for both him and Dahae on their separate journeys or whatever, and then these 2 episodes he just starts being real shitty in a way I don't like.
Yes. Yeah. I have to point out that this is all Ju-won's fault. like he made nothing out of a nothing situation. He made something out of nothing, and then for some reason, this is even more bad on Dongjin. Dongjin literally talked previous episode about how Ju-won was a liar, And yet he just takes Juwon's word about the situation and entirely just assumes that like Dahye is intentionally like being as rude as she possibly can. Like what?
I honestly don't think this is about, like, I think a lot of the hosts say that this is about Dongjin thinking that she's being rude, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it's that every time anybody brings up where's Dahye, they're like, oh, she's with Changjin, and they're hanging out like they always do. They're always together. And that, I think, is what he's actually upset about. And he's masking it with, oh, but she was so rude. She said she was going to cook and not cook. But no, that's not it. He's just jealous as fuck and can't deal with it.
Yeah, I agree. But he thinks like he has a right to say something because in this situation, because he believes Juwon is telling like the whole truth of the situation, and he's not questioning.
To be fair to Juwon, like he is telling the truth of the situation as he knows it. He didn't know she didn't hear it.
But he's going like overboard and being like, yeah, like she was like she was gonna cook with me, and then I like told to her face like I'm going to cook now, and then she hasn't come. Like he's like not.
He may have oversold it a bit. Like, oh, look at poor me, I'm cooking.
And he won't let it go. Okay. Like he keeps bringing it up. Like it's actually bothering him, and he like wants there to be like I don't know. I don't know what he's doing honestly. Like is he actually upset? Like he did. Like I guess he was. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know this about this Juwon guy. But it's still like entirely on Dongjin for behaving like this because And
I think it is also like reinforced again as other people show up and ask where Dahye is, and everybody going, "Oh yeah, with Changjin." Like it just brings it back over and over again. Yeah, and so like she's like in the middle of, I don't know, it naturally comes up where they're talking about allergies or something, and she's like, "I'm allergic to shellfish," and like Changjin says some shitty about like, oh, is that supposed to be a story? And it's just like he gets real sassy and just in a dumb way, and like is calling her out and being shitty to her in front of everyone in a gross way. I don't like it.
Yeah, where are your tears now, Sarah? Where are they?
Well,
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they behaved somewhat like this before they broke up.
Yeah, but the show didn't give it to me until now, so I cried under the information I had.
Yeah. Dongjin's just looking for a fight. Once we get to like all of the conversations they're gonna have throughout this, like it's even like dumber. Like the farther it goes. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares?
But yeah. So eventually everybody shows up, and then it's on to the next thing, which is they get a letter that reads, "Male participants recommend a date for your ex, but you cannot choose yourself. To prevent you from regretting it, all ex-couples will go to different places and come back in after a 20-minute discussion."
Yep. This is what we did last season, except I think the women had to choose.
The women did it last season, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that awkward situation they had upstairs, then Dongjin and Dahye have to go alone for their, like, I think first real conversation this whole time they've been on a show. One-on-one conversation, anyway.
Yeah, I think so, from what we saw. You want to do them first?
Might as well.
Dongjin does start the conversation with just being like, who do you want to go with, I think.
Yeah, he's like, just basically tell me who you want, I'll pick it for you. But then, like, add something like, but I want you to do the same for me. And at this point, she tries to ask who he would want, but he cuts her off by being like, I asked you first. So this is important to note for later. Like, she literally does not know who he would want her to pick for him.
Yeah. It's like really obvious to us, but it makes sense that she wouldn't 100% know.
Right.
Other than the texting? Oh, no. But
yeah,
like,
the texting.
No, but he texted her one night, though, so it's like weird.
Well, he texts her this night, right?
This night.
But I guess the past 2 nights they've gotten the information about who their exes are texts. It was Haewon both times.
It would have been Haewon one night, I think. Right?
Is that it?
Because it's day 2.
You're right. Yeah, it would have been one night of Haewon, and then like tonight where you would want to know, like he just went on a date with Jonghyun today. Who he texted after that might be somewhat relevant, but he chose to text Jae to apologize for this whole situation. So like that's even less information she has.
Yeah. Also, if Dahye was actually doing some like matchmaking, Jonghyun doesn't seem like a terrible choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Based on what we saw, it didn't seem terrible.
Mm-hmm. And like in this conversation, he asks her if she's upset about anyone he's seeing right now. like talking, like not narrowing it down to any, like he's just like, I am seeing many people. Are you upset by any of them? So again, he's not narrowing it down to the person he's interested in.
Yeah. They both kind of do this thing. Well, it's like Dongjin, for whatever reason, like doesn't want to talk about Hyewon in front of Dahae. Right. But Dahae also does this thing, and I think this is more of just like she doesn't really care about dating Chongjin because it's not actually like a romantic thing. So Dahae's like, I want you to choose who you want to choose. And a few of the women do this, I think, where it's like they want their ex to choose because they're hoping their ex like chooses like a bad match, which then would like mean something to them or something. I don't know what it
that
is.
That might be a reason, but it might also be like they're not sure, they're not particularly interested. I think that's true with Seokyeon. She's not like particularly interested in anyone really hardcore, and so when she is just like pick whoever, I think she means that. Dahae might be looking for a little bit of trying to figure out if Dongjin cares, but I think she's also not super like I think she kind of likes Chongjin, but she probably gets the vibe that he's not full, like really, like they're on a friend vibe, and it's not.
Chongjin is not texting Dahae, and she knows that.
Did he? Wait, let me check my thing. When was the last time he did text her yesterday?
Oh, yesterday. Okay.
It's starting this evening is when things go off the rails a little
but
bit.
Does Dahae ever actually throw out Chongjin's name with Dongjin? Or does Dongjin just know it's Chongjin and that's why he picks Chongjin?
I think he just knows it's him. And because part of this is them still arguing about how he thinks she's not being considerate of him and just rubbing things in his face, so they never really have to say that she's hanging out with Chongjin because everybody knows it all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's very visible.
By the end of it, I don't know if they had to like circle around and talk again, but there was like a point where Dahae like calls him out for ignoring her and explains how it made her feel, like in the whole beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And he does like apologize and admits he may have taken it too far.
Does he apologize about ignoring her or about how he behaved this evening? I thought it was this evening.
Oh, I assumed he was apologizing for the earlier stuff and not about
I don't think he's apologizing for the earlier stuff. I think like in her like taking down of like, you know, how would I know if you cared if I was into anybody? You've been ignoring me this whole time. And all I did was play my part in the show, which I could not do before Chongjin showed up. We are doing the same thing, which is dating other people. You can't get all up in my business about this. He's like, okay, I went on overboard. Like, okay. I think that's what he was apologizing for.
I mean, if he's apologizing for what he did tonight, he's going to do it again and again. So
yeah,
it made more sense to me that he was apologizing for what he ignoring her. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think like, well, based on an argument they have later, he's gonna like stick to like ignoring her was the right thing to do, or you know, like he's.
I agree.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, ignoring her was the right thing to do.
I agree. They just like shouldn't be together. They shouldn't be talking to each other. It's over. Like that's how I feel.
Okay.
But they're on the show, so there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that about almost most, if not all the exes that have ever been on the show. So.
Yeah. Well, especially these two, having been together for so long and broken up so recently, like there's no way they could come at this objectively, and like, you know, it's just messy.
Yeah, I guarantee you this is how ugly their relationship was at the end. This is
okay.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want to talk about next?
Next I got Minhyung and Songjong.
Okay. Yeah, Minhyung is fine here. He's just like, okay, who do you want to go with? And then she's like,
she says Hui-hyun. Yeah.
And then she starts getting into why she's upset with him. And my God, this doesn't go away. This is crazy. I think Songjong is terrible.
Yeah, my opinion of her changed drastically once we started getting into she is mad about the clothes that he wore on a date he went today, and I could not comprehend it.
I was fine with her, like, she said it, like, okay, something bothered you mention it, and then he's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that, and then he, like, apologizes, but she brings it up, like, 20 more
over
times.
And over, yeah,
and that's where it's, like, overboard.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, this is gonna be
and especially, like,
thing.
The way she presents it right now, it's like, you wore an outfit from my favorite brand on that date you went on. Like,
well, she got
I think later, but she doesn't bring that up until later. And so, like, this whole time, I'm just like, how the fuck is this a thing? I don't get it. Like,
oh, I thought I knew. I thought she said it, but maybe not.
She like emphasizes her favorite brand the whole time, and I'm like, surely if she had bought this for him, that would be the thing she'd be mentioning, not that it's her favorite brand. And I'm like, it's just a sweatsuit. You don't even look good in it. What are we arguing about?
Well, they're athletes, though. Come on.
I guess. Okay.
I wrote at the bottom of my notes, okay, these two are picking each other in the end. Do we have to talk about them anymore? Does that still reign true after episode 15?
Yes.
I think 100%. I think it might, 100%. Yeah.
Didn't they like I fully expect I fully expect like they're gone next episode, right? They're just like, okay, we're picking each other goodbye, walking off into the sunset.
We can only
can't
hope.
be on this show anymore.
We can only hope. Yeah. That'd be great.
But yeah, I had such high hopes at the beginning of this conversation. It was just, who do you want? This is who I want. Okay, cool. End of discussion. And then it just evolved into madness. And
yeah, I mean, this first discussion wasn't that bad, but it's also because I've seen what goes on later. But okay, all right. Who else? What are these others?
Kwante and Jungin. He asks if there's anybody she wants, and she's just like, I got here yesterday. Recommend a boy to me.
Kwante tells Jungin that he thought she would only be into him out of all the guys.
I forget exactly what she said, but she gave him a very like, oh yeah, super confident. Yeah, I get you, whatever, and like laughs it off.
But he said that in like he was in a joking way.
Yeah,
that's like some dumb shit I would say. He's like, Kwante's like, oh well, you and Min Young are both doctors, like that could be a thing. And Jungin's like, no, don't do it.
None of that.
Don't do it. I don't have any opinions about anybody, but not Min Young.
Which, like, fair, you know? She got a vibe immediately, or maybe she knows what it's like to date a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a very nice conversation, actually. I couldn't tell, like, is it because they both kind of know that they're not interested in getting back together, or are they just, like, good people that know how to have a conversation? I don't know.
Do we think he's not interested in getting back with her at all?
I'm a little confused by that. There's a conversation later where he like goes out of his way to have a conversation, and it seemed to be fine, but it was basically just so he could like vent about how he's been feeling since they broke up. But I didn't necessarily take that as like he wants to get back together. It was just kind of like he felt like he had to say something for.
I feel like he might be like 90% on the getting over it situation, but like. It'd be different if she was showing some interest. It might swing back the other way.
But if you're Kwante, though, like how?
Like how? She could come up and be like, I'm sorry, I love you, and that boy would be in.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but if it did, he'd swing back around.
Maybe? I don't know. It would be weird if she just said it for some reason, but okay.
She's like, I figured it out, you know? Like, I wasn't ready before, and now I am. Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay. Well, that's
not go ahead and tell me he hasn't fantasized about her just showing up one day and being like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I do love you. You know, like
yeah, it's hard. I mean, it like the 6 months that it took plus whatever she said I don't love you or whatever, it doesn't really go away. Yeah. So that's why I'm not 100% sure what Kwante would do if that happened. I think Kwante's backstory is by far the saddest backstory. Like that's the only backstory when he was like venting his feelings to her. And you got to actually see him like talk about it. That was the closest I came to crying watching this entire show for 2 seasons.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. He was real sad.
I'm a huge Kwante fan after these episodes. Yeah, I was a Kwante defender. I'm now a Kwante fan. I'm now a Kwante fan. Right, I'm rooting for this guy. I don't know how he gets what he wants on the show. I don't
think he gets what he wants on the show.
That's why I'm really rooting for the dominoes to fall once Seokhyun gets Ju-won back.
Oh, do you think that swings Yoo-jung towards Kwante?
Really? Well, you gonna choose Changjin over Kwante? Come on, Kwante wins, right?
She might. I don't know. I think at the end she might just do a throwaway pick, like if things with Ju-won fell apart.
Throwaway on Kwante. They leave the show together. They don't have to date. Kwante wins.
Okay. But does he really win if they don't? If she picks him and they don't really date?
Hey, as far as I know, I'm not gonna follow up. I'll never know.
Oh, I'm gonna look at Twitter after the fact and see what people have figured out.
Okay. Yeah. It seems like Kwante throws out Changjin and she's like, yeah, Changjin sounds good, but she also...
Yeah, she feels a little guilty about the Dahe angle.
Yeah, she talks about how she feels bad about Dahye, but yeah, whatever.
And he's like, fuck that noise. You should be happy.
Quante, when she said that, I was like, oh, now I know Quante's picking Chunjin, because Quante's like, doesn't care about that shit at all. Yeah, Quante said to the guys on like day 2 or 3, like, just so you know, like, I don't give a shit who your exes are. I'm dating whoever I want.
Yeah, I respect it. Yeah.
So he's definitely just, even if she was like, no, you can't pick Chunjin, that would just be too mean to Dahye. He'd like, if you like Chunjin, I'm picking it. I don't care what you say.
And that did make me like Quante a bit more than, you know, like before. I've been kind of neutral on him, mostly just because nothing's going on around him. But yeah, him just being like, no, your happiness matters. Fuck that noise. I approve.
Yeah, he picked Chunjin, but it wasn't a total like Jong-un was like, I want to date this person.
Yeah.
I had the feeling at first that maybe she was out on Dongjin, but then she's gonna get another date with Dongjin. She seemed fine with that too, so I don't really know exactly where she is.
I think she might be pretty accepting in the fact that she got here real late and things aren't really gonna progress that far with anybody. Probably, you know, like she gets the disadvantage she has.
But I mean, at this point, she's definitely not trying to get back with Quante though, right? So it's like,
right,
okay, she's just kind of chilling. I like Jong-un too.
Yeah,
I think she's been pretty good. Even in the conversation where Quante kind of vents to her, I thought she was good in that conversation as well.
Yeah.
All right. Hui-hyun
and Haewon.
Hui-hyun seems like he's going to be cool about picking who Haewon wants, right?
Yeah.
but then it goes to confessional. I kind of think this is a throwaway confessional just for some drama, maybe a little bit. But he's like, well, I thought about picking like Ju-won because I know Ju-won's like super solid with Yu-jung, so there's no way Ju-won would. Like I don't know. It seemed like I never really felt like he was actually going to do it.
But there was a little part of him that wanted to do it, you know, just
enough for him to give something to the producers at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Haewon has a bit of a moment in this where like when she can get like sense that he's like maybe thinking about not picking Dongjin. She's like, just so you know, I think Seok-hyun is like really into Dongjin too, or something. So it's like she's suggesting that like, oh, you should pick Dongjin for me so that Dongjin falls in love with me so that Seok-hyun can fall in love with you. Was like that. Was that the logic there? I was like, oh, that was sneaky.
Yeah. We'll do a trade. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then Ju-won and Seok-hyun, right? He actually starts this conversation by like admits that he was like bugging her, which is like probably an underselling what actually happened. But last time they talked, which was the fight in the backyard, he says like, oh, I admit I was like bugging you last time we talked or something.
Yeah. I think he also tries to be like, you've gone on a date with everybody except for Chongjin. You want to go with Chongjin? But then like asks her who she actually wants.
Yeah. And then I forget if she says Dongjin. She's also like kind of pulling the move where it's like, no, you could just pick whoever you want me to go with or something.
Yeah, she does. She's like, who do you want me to go with? And doesn't say Dongjin. And then he brings up Dongjin.
Yeah. Somehow Dongjin came up and then she said something to the effect of like, yeah, I'd be happy to go on a date with Dongjin. But I feel like she forgot that happened. And then when he like picks Dongjin for her, she's like, oh, I guess he picked somebody he thought I liked or something. I don't know. It was a little weird. Yeah. As much as I just want every conversation to be like, hey, who do you want to go with? And then they answer. Like the women, some of these women are actually just like not really answering the question that strongly, which kind of makes sense if they're not really that into anybody.
Yeah.
I have to point out though that she does not say Quante, Sarah.
That's true. She does not say Quante.
Yeah. We've been arguing back and forth on who's Seok-hyun's number one right now.
Well, later she says it used to be Quante, but at some point it changed. Yeah. So like
ancient history.
Yeah. But she does tell Ju-won that she heard Dongjin telling people about him lying before their date about
this is weird, yeah.
And they just like laugh about it, and it's
What? No, she starts to cry.
Well, they start to laugh about it, and then she's like, she kind of explains that she thought it meant that Ju-won didn't want anyone to be with her, and that she was hurt, and then it devolves into a sad time for both of them. And I think he ends up crying in the bathroom at the end. Is like how this ends. It like seems so super casual and straightforward from the beginning, and then it like devolved into, oh no, everyone's sad again.
Yeah. The important part is that Seok-hyun never cries except for about Ju-won, apparently. She's never shown any like serious emotions, and then this small thing she overhears Ju-won doing made her cry.
Yeah.
So I think we know. I mean, yeah, ultimately it breaks down to like she wants to get back with him, but also knows it will be difficult. And so
yeah,
she's like deciding like effort versus desire right now. Yeah. And I wrote at this point, even like I feel like they both want to get together at some level.
Yeah.
But also neither of them is like willing to say it. And then later it's like neither
Oh well,
of them
he's
like,
willing to say it.
Yeah, but I don't think he does though. We know how he
No,
feels,
he said it on when they had that weird conversation in the dark part of the yard.
Oh, you're talking about like
he was like, I came here to get back together with you.
But now all this Yu-jung stuff has happened, so I don't know how Seok-hyun would 100% know that they still want to get back together.
Okay, yeah, this conversation, yeah, she might think that it's changed.
Yeah, but neither of them was like willing to admit it. And then later on when they talk, it's like neither of them really wants to like apologize for what they said when they broke up. And then yeah, it all seems like their default behavior is just to start like blaming each other for stuff, which is kind of where
which
the rest
is not good.
Yeah, and then they like rehash out like, well, you texted this person on this day, and that's so you can't blame me for texting this person. Yeah, it's like they just like rehash shit.
Not a healthy way to.
I don't actually think they're a good couple, but I'm rooting for them to get back together for the sake of the TV show.
For the chaos, yeah. I get
it. And then I wrote Yu-jung and Changjin just talk about Ju-won.
Yeah. She is deep in on Ju-won, like 100%.
I'm a little confused. So this is how I feel about Yu-jung when it comes to Ju-won. It's like I feel like he's just like a rebound.
He might be a rebound, but she is 100% in on this rebound.
Yeah. I don't like see it as a long-term thing. I don't know. I feel like she's like chosen to see these very, very specific moments where Ju-won behaved in the opposite way that she like perceives Changjin to behave, and she's like chosen to be like to like really emphasize these like small moments in time. I feel like, and I don't know, because other than those things, I don't really know why Yu-jung and Ju-won get along.
I think they have good chemistry.
You do? I don't know.
Yeah. I think they like.
Maybe it's just because I don't like them, but
I think it's because you don't like them. But I think like they get along well on dates. They have like a similar sense of humor, as far as I can tell. And I think the thing like she points out is like, even when he does shit that confuses her, like text someone else, he comes back and explains it later, which I don't know that we've seen.
She's referencing like way back when like she had like 3 dates or something, but she only got 1 text.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess they did talk about it. We saw them talk about that.
Like the following day and had something to say about like, oh, I was worried about how you'd feel when I didn't text you or something. And so he like talked about it.
I mean, I can't give him shit for that. Like that's
but it's like like from all I know, that's like the only reason Yu-jung likes him. That's the story that I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't think that's it at all. I think it's that plus they have good chemistry and have similar sense of humor, and it's she probably also thinks he's hot, all the
interesting
little things,
yeah, because I actually sympathize with Changjin, where I feel like Changjin is like really struggling to understand why she likes Ju-won more than him. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, there's a history with Changjin and Yu-jung, and she has negative associations with him, and that's why Ju-won is winning. But like with no outside relationship, you just like meeting these 2 guys the first time. Yeah, I don't really know why. I don't really get why Ju-won is winning, but yeah, that seems to be Changjin's story. Is like he knows Ju-won is a thing for Yu-jung, but he like doesn't fully get how serious it is, and I feel like we might have gotten to the point where he finally understands at the end of episode 15, and maybe he's gonna move on, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know how confident I am that he's gonna move on, but okay.
The big thing I also think it is like Changjin is just bad at talking, which I can also sympathize with.
yeah, I think he is bad at talking.
Yeah. Yu-jung is someone that likes to be reassured a lot, also.
Yeah, which is not something that Changjin's gonna do.
You know who might be the most reassuring boyfriend in the history of this TV show?
Oh,
Kwante. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
That's true.
Yeah. Seems like the match we all need.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about that match she's just not into, so it's not happening
for now. Give it time.
Okay. I think
Juwon's gonna break up.
The early impressions have been made. I don't think there's coming back from it. Like she's passed over that man already. She's not into it.
There's time.
I'm not saying that if everything falls apart, she might still pick him for the end of the show just to pick somebody. But I don't think they're ever actually dating.
No, we can do it.
Okay, we'll see.
From everything I know about Yujong, that I would match her up with Kwante before Juwon, knowing that Juwon's gonna get back with his ex anyway.
No, listening to the words she says, which are "I'm not into Kwante and I like Juwon," I disagree.
Okay, well, we'll get to the conversation later when they talk about that because
Okay.
I don't think it's as black and white what you're saying, but okay. All right, time for the selections.
Yeah, they have to announce the shit in front of everybody. So Minhyung picked Hui-hyun for Seungjeon, like she wanted. Good job. Kwante for Jongin picked Chongjin. Juwon for Sokyun picked Dongjin. Hui-hyun for Haewon picked Dongjin. Chongjin for Yujong picked Juwon. And Dongjin for Dahae picked Chongjin after some hemming and hawing. Good job, everybody picked somebody they were told to pick. They understood the assignment.
The guys are crushing it.
Yeah, good job.
Let's go.
Across the board.
Let's go. The first two picks, like Minhyung and Kwante's pick, they picked very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else thought about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So a little
still
bad
came around
and
did the right thing at the end.
But yeah, ultimately they did.
Or was it just a show to be like, oh look, this is difficult for me? You never know. That might be a card to play. If you want her to think you're still into her, it's not easy to pick somebody for you, but
you're gonna do
in
it,
the end.
Yeah. I mean, that's a way better card than picking the person they don't want.
Oh yeah, that's the wrong card, 100%.
Actually, you're right. Like if you want to get back with them, the right thing to do is like act like it's tough, but then do the right thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm making such a sacrifice to make you happy. Yeah. Oh, I wish I didn't have to do
don't
this,
just say that.
I love you so much.
Just be like, wow, yeah. I actually had to think about this, but you deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
That's how I would say it. Okay.
That's some spoon-worthy shit right there if you're still interested in your ex a little bit,
Yeah, Seokjin, like, before Juwon picks, is like, just choose whoever you want. Like, yeah. I feel like she almost wanted him to, like, randomly pick, like, I don't even know. Chongjin or something. Just so she could, like, read into it. I'm not sure.
Or just she, like, truly does not care about any of these guys at this
guess
point.
That's what it is, yeah. But the one side effect, though, is that, like, when Juwon picks Dongjin, Hui-hyun is like, oh, I guess Seokjin must have feelings for Dongjin. And that's why Juwon picked him. In reality, it's like I don't know if Seokjin has strong feelings about Dongjin either, but
she did try to pick him for the traveling to Jeju, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, she's picking him over Hui-hyun, but it's like Hui-hyun takes it as like, oh, she must have admitted to her ex, like, oh, this is the person I really care about. So he has some kind of reaction to that at least.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hui-hyun tells us he wishes he was Dongjin since he's going on the dates with the two girls he likes the most.
Yep.
Haewon and Seokjin. Yeah. That's rough. That's rough, Hui-hyun. I feel for you.
Mm-hmm. But hey, he at least does get a date out of this. I think he thought he wasn't gonna have a date, so there's that.
Yeah, I guess, did he not know, or he just doesn't care about this date?
I think he might, like, he mentioned earlier in the evening, like, oh yeah, I guess I'm not having a date tomorrow. Either he has forgotten Seungjeon is interested in him, or just, like, truly does not care to the level that he, I guess, forgot about her. I don't know.
Doesn't even count as a date, yeah.
Yeah.
Dahae also pulls the move where she's like, Dongjin, just choose whoever you want.
Yeah.
She isn't there being like, Dongjin, do the right thing. What are you even thinking about?
Yeah.
Which is what I would probably be doing. Like, what the hell are you thinking about? Just fucking say it.
Yeah, it does not matter hugely to her.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No dates for Kwante and Minhyung. Sad.
Yeah.
Kwante, not
terribly surprising.
Yeah. All right, we do texting. I wrote down these texts. The second round of texting, we're gonna get to in 15. I was like, I'm done.
Like, okay.
I wrote down the key ones that weren't maybe unexpected, but
okay.
Yeah, I really feel like this show's like, okay, we know pretty much who's into who. It's just a matter of we need to let the exes date each other and see if that stirs anything up. So I think this show's treading water a little bit right now. But
yeah.
Do you want to go? We can go through all these texts that you want.
Sure. I mean, we'll just do it real quick. Dongjin gets a text from Jongin because they went on a date today, and Haewon because she likes him a lot. He texts neither of them back because he decides to text an apology to Dahae, which seems like a dumb move. He could have just literally gone up to her afterwards and went, "I'm sorry," and texted a person he was really interested in today. So I think he just used it as an excuse to not have to pick.
Oh, to not have to pick. There you go. That makes sense. Yeah. Because it's like really unfair to Dahae if he's actually just doing it to apologize, right? Because it's like, she thinks it's going to mean something because he's literally choosing not to text somebody else.
I think we do get a confessional with her where she does not seem to take particular meaning out of this, I think. So at least it doesn't seem to lead her on, but it does remove more information that she might use later when she then has to pick a date for him, which then leads to shenanigans.
Yeah. I find it really annoying when people do this. Like, just as an audience member, it's just like, I don't actually know if Dongjin like is interested in Dahae or if he just is like too like doesn't have what it takes to apologize to her face, so he just does it in text.
I think that might be part of it, but I think it also has the benefit of like he wants to be polite and text the person he went on a date with today, but he is ultimately more interested in Haewon, and so therefore has this awkward decision to make and decides to just not
just text Haewon. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing a good job right now.
Yeah, doesn't seem great.
And then I think he also has the nerve to feel bad that Dahae did not text him.
Yeah. You just treated her so well. Of course you.
Now,
I will admit, most people would text him based on the evidence I've seen of the show, but for a sane person, it fully makes sense to not want to text somebody who just like was treated you like they were your dad,
yeah, mm-hmm.
or whatever the hell he was just doing.
Yeah, tried to shame you in front of the entire group. Yeah, no thank you.
What the hell? Yeah. But there's going to be other situations, I think, later where, somebody doesn't ask very nice and then they get text for doing it. So,
but Dahae has a certain amount of self-respect, and so she texts Chungjin.
Yeah, there we go.
Sokyun gets a text from Huihyun and Binhyung because she went on a date with him today. So there we go. I think this is the point where Sokyun starts to, like, it sinks in for her that Huihyun actually, like, has a thing for her. Like, I don't think she was feeling it before, and now she's like, oh, wait, maybe he does like me.
Yeah. Dongjin also has a reaction to, like, seeing the text that Dahae picked Chungjin, and he's like, I think, like, her texting Chungjin is, like, her expressing her love for him. Like, she's, like, really in his head about this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess, like, he's gotten it 2 days in a row now, maybe, is why.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, we know that's, like, way too strong of a way of saying that, yeah.
She's just like, literally, this is the only person I can text right now. This guy I've been hanging out with. It's maybe just a friend thing. Maybe there's room for it to grow. I'm not sure, but, like, she's not feeling it as strongly as he thinks she's feeling it.
But if he knows he feels that way about her texting other people, like, wouldn't he think that she might be feeling that way about him texting other people? So, like,
no, that would require an amount of self-reflection he is not putting into the situation at all.
Okay, Dongjin sucks. I'll say it. I'll be here. I'll be that guy.
I would say he sucks right now and maybe has a chance to grow out of it, and I hope he does.
I mean, he'll grow out of it when they stop seeing each other, but that's not really growing out of it. It's just not being in the situation.
Well, I mean, what I mean is, like, he sucks, but not in a way where I write him off as a person, you know? Like, I think it is a weird situation that they're in right now. He is behaving poorly. Don't love it. But I think out in the real world, he'd be a little bit more reasonable about, because he wouldn't know these dumb things he knows that he shouldn't know, like who she's texting or whatever, you know?
Again, to me, like, it's enough that, like, I would not want to date him. Like, if I got to see this behavior, I'd be like, yeah, this is not a person who, like, thinks rationally about before they, like, get into an argument, you know? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, does anyone pass that test, though? Like, who on this show Dahae is literally it. I think everybody else sucks. if you
Quante.
like are real strict about that stuff.
Quante's pretty good. Jong-un's pretty good.
Jong-un's barely been there. Quante is behaving reasonable, but I feel like he's not like in a thing, you know? Seokhyun is
I mean his ex is here. They could be fighting. They don't
I guess. Seokhyun, like I love Seokhyun, but like also I don't love that she's entertaining getting back with Ju. Like that just feels bad.
Yeah, I mean they like bicker with each other. To me, it's not as bad as what Dongjin's doing right now, but
yeah.
Like I feel like with them, it's like, oh yeah, they shouldn't be together. But the behavior that Dongjin's doing is like, oh, like this is just like if he wants to have an argument, like he'll come up with like the dumbest shit and just have an argument about shit like with you. Like I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like he's in a like really stressful situation right now.
We can say that about everybody.
Yeah, but he's handling it poorly, and I guess I just want to like so for so much of this show I've been like these two people acting like adults. I love it, and I'm not ready to give up on him being an adult again, I guess.
But we know like he wasn't acting like an adult the whole time. Now it's like we thought he was doing it because like he wanted it to be clear like he doesn't want to get back with her. And he wanted her to like focus on finding somebody new. But
right.
What he's doing now goes totally against that.
But I do think that like this is not like an intentional choice. Like this is things bubbling over for him because he's been suppressing his feelings for a while, I think. So I don't know that this makes that not true.
I don't know. He's just too weird about the like whole this isn't about getting back together. It's a lot of BS that doesn't add up.
We'll see how the next episode goes, and if I have to write him off for good, I will. But I'm not quite there yet, just because I'm holding on to the previous hope of adulthood. I guess I don't know.
Are we done with the text? Did you actually?
No. Hui-hyun doesn't get any text. Min-hyun gets text from Seokhyun because again date, and then also from Sungjeon because she is obsessed with him still. She definitely wants to get back together. And then Yoo-jung gets 3 texts. Quante, Changjin, who just like sets up an appointment. He's like, I will see you at 10:30. I'll be there. Like,
yeah, that was
basically
weird.
It's just like, we're gonna talk. I'll just tell you that it's happening.
They must have already talked about it though, but he was just like,
maybe.
No, they definitely did.
I find it funny to just be like, I'm making an appointment with you. But yeah, that's how they presented it. But yeah, they probably did talk. And then of course Jiwon texted her. She texted Juwon just a weird emoji because she's running out of shit to say, but still wanted to pick him.
Things are already running stale in this relationship. I don't know what to say.
And yeah, that's it for the texts.
Yeah, is the Seokhyun streak broken? Because I think Juwon cooked tonight, technically. But they went on a date and had a meal now together,
broken.
So...
They did have a meal together, but it's not quite.
But Juwon like actually cooked.
Yeah. So I think the streak is broken. If not tonight, definitely the next night. It's just she's now texting just people who she's going on dates with.
Okay, all right. More Dahae and Dongjin talking.
Yes.
And then she just asked him like if he ever wanted to get back together, and then this is where he starts giving like weird answers. Like he's not really saying no, but he's saying the point of the show is not for them to get back together. So like, why are we talking about getting back together? Has he ever watched this show?
Apparently not.
I feel
or
like
is just willfully being ignorant about it.
Rewriting the history of the TV show. And he tries to make her feel bad about texting Changjin.
And then Hui-hyun has accidentally locked himself in the bathroom, which interrupts the entire conversation.
Yeah. Here's my thing about Dongjin. Either he's a big baby or he's just dumb.
Oh.
Either way, I'd be out. In terms of dating that kind of person. But those are like the only 2 possibilities in my mind.
It is a hard thing. Like if you're Haewon and you know they pick each other at the end, they come out of this and they actually start dating, and then you watch the show. Like it would be rough to see the person you're now dating like behaving in this way, and then having to be like, oh, I guess it's fine that we're dating, but otherwise I wouldn't date. Like if I'd known this ahead of time, I wouldn't have dated you. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean you'd have to be like okay, like because everybody's gonna have like disagreements at time. You'd be like, okay, yeah, this I could handle having like an argument with somebody like this.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I couldn't. Like they're just literally talking nonsense. It doesn't make sense. There's no rational way about going about this conversation. He's just coming up with BS excuses. So yeah, that's just a huge no, big pass on for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Dongjin tries to act like righteous about picking Chongjin for her. Like I did this huge favor for you.
Yeah, when literally she never asked him to pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, even if she did, it's like you had a choice between do the right thing and don't do the right thing, and you chose the right thing, and you want to be like,
oh yeah, he wants
be
points
like
for that.
For that. It's like okay.
And then I like he's also giving her shit for having texted Chongjin tonight, but asking if he ever had any intention of getting back together with her now. It's like those things aren't necessarily related, you know? She's just trying to get clarity with what you're thinking and you're being a dick about it. Like
yeah. Also, like Dongjin texted her tonight.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that she might be wondering why maybe you want to get back together. Like what's your angle here, Dongjin?
Yeah, she just wants to have a conversation and get like a straight fucking answer out of it.
Let's be clear, like she was fine
with
the way things were.
Yeah.
And then Dongjin decided he wasn't fine with the way things were, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. And then gets mad when she asks what the fuck is up. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Salkian actually invites Huihyun to talk. And then they talk about how they both like to role play, if you know what I'm saying. I actually don't remember the context of that.
So I do not remember the context of that either.
It was said in some capacity, but I actually don't know what kind of role playing they were talking about. It wasn't what I was implying, but
I know she does like come and tell him he looks like a BTS member to just get back at him for saying she looks like Taeyong.
Yeah, maybe this isn't as bad as we were thinking it was, because like if it was really that bad, would she be like going out of her way to like throw him under the bus? Like that'd be kind of fucked up. Like if he like made a genuine comment, she's like, "No, I'm gonna just make you suffer." She's also like not specific, right? She's like, "You just look like you'd be in BTS, but like not a specific."
Well, that is at least a soft way to not completely throw him under the bus, but still just be like teasing back about like, look, I could do this to you too. Don't say I look like anybody famous again.
Oh, he doubles down. He brings it back up. He's like, no, but like you actually look like that person. Okay.
I have a very important question though. Are they sharing a toothbrush? Because I swear she makes some offhanded comment about how he's using her toothbrush.
I assumed it was like he borrowed like a new one that she had, but
like a spare. Okay.
Yeah.
It was not clear. And the implication was funny because they don't even live in the same house right now. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Chongjin and Yujong talk under the green yard tree at night. It was very nice looking.
Oh, yeah.
Although, like the lights in the tree looked really good, but they're also just like kind of sitting in like earthy ground. It's like not like a patio situation.
Yeah.
It's okay. They actually have a pretty healthy conversation. And I feel like they clear some things up, but still I feel like Chongjin, it's probably on Chongjin a little bit because he's like not really asking directly how into Juwon she is, because he probably maybe doesn't want to know the answer. Could be what it is, but they're at least like on good terms in terms of like, I feel like they're having a good conversation.
She is like expressing some like annoyances or maybe some like hints of jealousy though, where she's just like referencing him staying up until morning talking to Dahae, and she's like, when we were together you'd go to bed right away and now you're staying up all night talking to people, and like she does like confess that bothered her.
Yeah, but it's in like a healthy way where it's like, hey, this is like a feeling that I had and they're just talking about it. It's not like she's actually trying to make him feel bad, right?
I guess, yeah, she came out a little strong with it at first, but I think like it maybe mellowed as they, like it could have gone either direction and it went in a more healthy way by the time they were finished. But it isn't like the full stone wall that I had thought from her before, where she was just like, not interested in you at all, goodbye. You know, like there is, she's
admitting she's thinking about him at least.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of shocked that Chongjin is texting her, but we kind of think they're like final conversation, episode 15. Like, I think I know where Chongjin's head's at, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes after that.
Yeah.
Quante invites Jong-un to talk, and they rehash the whole "I love you" stuff. This was the scene where I was like, man, this Quante backstory, this is actually rough.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but just like the way she said, she's like, you got to remember what I said to you before. Like the size of the love behind your "I love you" may be the same size as the size of the love behind my "I like you," and it's so like sweet, but also a little bit patronizing, like a teacher reassuring a child. But like, yeah, it's I don't know.
It could be, but it's probably not. But it could be. You could pretend it is, right?
I guess.
Like I know you talked about getting married and stuff, and I was like definitely not feeling that, but it could be the same amount of love.
She even like, it could be more. You don't know.
Yeah.
I think we know.
Yeah. He starts to cry. It is a little weird. Like I kind of feel bad for Jong-un because it's like he pulled her aside, and now it's just kind of like she has to listen to him cry. But this backstory, at least to me, is like actually rough.
Mm-hmm.
And she handles it so well that it didn't like bother me like as much that Quante. Yeah. And I also didn't get the sense like Quante was doing this conversation because he's like trying to like guilt her into dating him again. I didn't think that was the case either.
It feels like a closure conversation. Like he had to express these things to her to be able to move on. And like this is the kind of thing that like you would hope that this show would help happen. You know, like this is the thing that you're looking for, except for it's not. But this would be my hopeful outcome for people who are exes on this show, to have this moment, say what needed to be said, get their closure, and move on.
Yeah. I mean, this Quante story is traumatizing. And like even she admits is like that this is very understandable. Like that he like I think even she's like, yeah, I see that like his experience dating me must have been traumatizing, basically. Yeah. I didn't quite cry, but I was at least feeling something watching this.
I think even at the end, he's like, I don't think I can ever find love again. And it's like, oh, I don't think you did to begin with, my dude. But yeah, it's sad.
Quante asks if she regrets dating him, and she says, I'm not sure.
But I think she means it in a standpoint of like she regrets having caused all this pain for him, not that
I don't know.
She regrets the time she spent with him, you know?
Or maybe she's like, yeah, maybe like overall my life would just be better if we never dated. I don't know. She's cold, but I respect the honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was just like the end of episode 14. So
yep.
Man, it was a rough conversation, but yeah, I thought they both did well though.
Yeah,
like I'm fans of both of them. I would say overall.
Yeah, it's just sad that they're not going anywhere on a dating front on this show.
Yeah, and I don't think they should. Like I don't think they're compatible at all based on.
Oh, not together. I mean, just with anybody else with either. In the show, you know, like they don't have anything cooking.
Yeah, that's true. Quante will be fine after the show. He'll find somebody. Easy peasy.
Okay.
There's so many people out there that just want to be loved, and he's willing to give it. He'll find somebody for sure. All right, we jumping into episode 15.
Yeah, next day, JG day 3. It's time for all those dates that got set up yesterday.
Okay, Dongjin just like wakes up and then like I guess it's like 8 a.m. and their date's at 10 a.m. And I guess you're just supposed to assume like women need at least 2 hours to get ready. So he's like, oh, I better go wake up Seokhyun, otherwise she won't be ready for this date at 10 a.m. And yeah, she's like full sleeping, has to wakes up both Seokhyun and whoever Seokhyun's roommate is. I don't know who it is. Might be Jong-un. I don't know.
It's Sungjung.
Sungjung. Oh yeah. Yeah, he basically like full wakes them both up. Like creep. I don't know. It was weird.
It was
Dongjin's a weird guy. And to add in the weirdness with the whole
is it his
big
fault?
Baby Dum Dum, I don't know, man.
I don't think it's his fault though. I think production should have just told both of them when they told him. You know, like I gotta think the night before.
Know the date time?
Yeah, well, like other people don't know the time of their dates. Like he has to go on 2 dates, and today, and he has to go and tell Haewon too because she also doesn't know what time her date is. So production should just fucking tell everybody what their schedule is. Then he wouldn't have to go awkwardly wake people up, you know?
Okay. All right, that's fair.
You better, production.
But Seokhyun does not seem pumped for this early date. She's like, why? Why must
I don't think there are any dates she would have been pumped for in this moment when she got woken up.
Yeah, probably not.
Definitely not on this show, at least.
His Hyewon dates, he estimates, will be 4 p.m.
Yes.
Since Dongjin has 2 dates today. All right. Jonghyun and Changjin date. You ready?
Sure.
All right. They're wearing matching clothes. Let's go.
Accidentally, but, nice.
Didn't him and Dahae also wear
matching clothes accidentally?
Clothes?
Yes.
Yeah. They should just have some sort of 3-way situation going here. Everybody can be happy, right? Come on.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know what they're
all their clothes can just match and be happy together.
Yeah. That's all it takes, right? Matching clothes, you're good.
Yeah. Apparently Jong-un wanted to be an actress. With this, we get the why Jong-un is on the show backstory.
Oh yeah, she wanted to be an actress, but her parents would not hear any of that nonsense. And then a close friend got sick and died in college, so she went, "I'll be a doctor."
Yeah, but she's been in smaller film projects.
Yeah. Like she said, she still is trying to do the actor thing.
If this show gets me a couple of acting jobs, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They go driving in UTVs.
Yeah, in UTVs. Yeah.
I think Tae and Ji-young did this last season, right?
Yeah, but that one was miserable because they didn't want to be together, or at least he didn't want to be there. But yeah, this one seems like they have fun. Changjin just is the one that drives. It does not look like she ever gets to drive, but okay.
Yeah. Is this a cheating date, Sarah?
Yes. The hosts tell us it is a cheating date. And they don't use as many words, but they're like, yes, the adrenaline of the driving real fast and bouncing over things tricks you into thinking that your heart is beating for the person you were next to or whatever. So yeah, cheating date.
Is wearing matching clothes cheating?
No.
Because
they didn't do it on purpose.
Or
I don't know that it makes your heart flutter or whatever. I don't know.
I feel for some people it does. So maybe, I don't know if that makes it cheating.
Yeah, but that's a genuine reaction to something about the other person, not a, oh no, there's danger around me.
I guess only cheating if you scoped out what they were gonna wear and then you purposely wore.
Yeah. Then that's weird
that's
behavior.
Cheating?
We do not approve of that. Yeah.
Okay. Do it, but don't make sure they don't find out.
No. Although, is it still cheating if you're well, this guy only ever wears a white polo and jeans, so I'll wear a white shirt and jeans, and then we'll match probably because 90% of his wardrobe is that. Is that still cheating? Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, if they're gonna have a reaction to you wearing the same clothes as them, maybe it's cheating. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought this was a cute date, Jonghyun and Changjin. But also this isn't gonna go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah, they go have lunch. He blocks the sun for her. That's cute.
Yeah.
They do not feed each other though, so that's never a good sign. I don't know.
Wait, do people always feed each other?
They don't always feed. Feeding each other is a good sign. The lack of it is not a bad sign, but it's just, I don't know. It didn't happen.
Yeah, this was also a pre-credits date, I believe.
Yes.
I didn't mark when the credits happened this time, but I think this one was before.
He says something like, "Oh, you must want to meet everybody and go on dates," and she's like, "Actually, that just makes things more confusing." So I think she's like, "I've gone on dates with these 2 guys. Let me figure this out. That's enough."
Also, she's watched their ex meetings, so I feel there's just people she knows she's out on. It's not
that's fair.
She has some behind the scene footage of some of them and already has kind of judged them however she's going to judge them.
Yeah, and she got to see that before she actually made any connection with anyone, so she can use it objectively. Yeah.
Then we go back to the houses. Hyewon is shocked to hear from Minhyung that Songjong is most interested in Huihyun.
Yes.
I guess she didn't know that?
I mean, why would she? She hasn't seen them together.
I guess she's been working about Seokhyun this whole time. That's
because that's who Huihyun has been texting. So she hasn't gotten any information in the other direction.
It was so shocking to her because she thought that Minhyung picked on purpose picked the person she would hate the most.
Yeah.
That's how shocked Hyewon was to hear this. And then both of them, Hyewon and Minhyung, they see them getting ready for their date out the window, and they
call to them and wave, and it's awkward.
Yeah. That feels like some dumb shit I would do at these like.
Oh really?
Like in these like, because they're I don't know, you're like living together in these places where like everybody can just like look out the window and see what you're doing. Just like open the window, be like, yo, what's up?
To your ex who's about to go on a date? Really?
Maybe,
I would
not.
just avoid that.
Probably not. Yeah. But yeah. It could also be funny though if you're in good terms with your ex. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, if you're on
for
good
them,
terms.
it's kind of weird, but
for everybody else, I'd just yell out and like catcall at them, like, "Ooh, look at you going on a date," just to make them feel awkward. That I get that, but it feels right.
Yeah.
And I think we get a Ju-won Yoo-jung date.
Yep.
I think we actually
I 2x'd through this date for multiple reasons.
Okay, they went fishing.
Yep. Okay, you talked about it. We're done. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just in that she catches a really big fish and he does not catch any fish. Okay. So, there's that.
Okay. That was why I fast forwarded to this, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. She explains that she really phoned in her text yesterday with just the emoji. So, they cleared up the air of that. And they eat lunch on the boat and she does feed him. So there we go.
Okay, you're all over this right now.
I mean, it's always a thing I call out.
Do you think to me, this might be like the relationship that I don't understand that lasts forever outside after this TV show's over, but I don't really fully understand this relationship.
What do you need to understand about it?
What do I need to understand about it?
Yeah, what do you feel like you're missing? To understand it. No, but I don't like they're into each other. Like I can see that they're into each other. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah. I can
see it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like people that like to me it would make sense. Like if Dongjun and Jong-un liked each other, I would like feel okay, they like each other, and like based on the personalities as I understand them, they feel like somebody that could have like a long-term relationship. But for these two, it's like, yeah, they're happy together on the show, but I don't have anything about them that would make me think there's like something special going on here other than that they just are enjoying each other's company on this TV show, I don't know. To me, there's like nothing to like grab onto that makes me confident that this is like a lasting relationship. But that doesn't mean I don't have to understand it for that to be the case, but that's just how I feel watching it. Like it's not, I just don't get it.
Okay. I think for me, if I isolate the fact that I know that he would absolutely drop her the moment that Seokyeon expressed interest in him, outside of that, just seeing how much they seem to get along, like, does it enough for me, I'm like, okay, sure, I get it.
Okay.
But okay.
It's we get to know so much about some of these people that I feel like I get a sense of like, okay, this is what they're looking for in a relationship. This is what this person's looking for in a relationship. But for these two, it's like Yoo-jung wants somebody that reassures her.
Mm-hmm.
And she has gotten reassurances from Ju-won in specific situations, but I would not say like Ju-won is a person that reassures his partner on the regular. Like from what I know about him, I wouldn't guarantee like, oh, that's what he is.
But I can see how she would think he's that.
It seems almost like very coincidental that they matched up and are liking each other right now in a way that I'm not grabbing onto it.
Okay.
But you could say the same thing for like if Da-hye and Chongjin were actually like romantically interested in each other. I guess I wouldn't really understand that either.
No, I think I understand that too. Like they bonded over where they were feeling with their exes, and like I could see where that like camaraderie sort of started and maybe developed over time. I don't know. Maybe I don't need much to latch on to.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, you didn't really describe anything. You just said like, oh, yeah, they like each other and they were able to talk and they can have a good conversation. I enjoy watching them more than Yoo-jung and Ju-won, but as far as like, oh yeah, I feel like we really like made a match on this TV show. I'm not gonna confidently say that.
Okay.
Now, if Yoo-jung and Kwante were together, there's something there.
There's literally nothing there because
there's nothing there because they haven't chosen each other. But if they did choose each other, I'd be like, oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense because I know like Kwante is like the type that says I love you quickly and he's always reassuring his partner, and then Yoo-jung like really needs that reassurance all the time. It's like,
but it's not the only thing she needs.
As far as I know, that's all I know. That's literally all I know about Yoo-jung. Right.
The other thing you know about Yoo-jung is that she's not vibing with that man. It's just not working for her for whatever reason. So
yeah, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, okay. I want there to be. I wish there was more to understanding like a match on the show besides like, oh yeah, we go on dates and we tell each other we like each other. I don't know. It's like
okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I'll have a better example if something actually happens and I like it. I can't think of a match in the past that I liked right now based on that, but
okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for that date. Then we get Dongjin and Seokhyun.
I was really confused what was happening here. I was like, are they getting their nails done?
Yeah, I was like, are they doing a tie-dye situation? But then they were just like soaking it in water for a long ass time.
Until it changed colors?
But it didn't even change colors. And then I guess later they
didn't?
it didn't, because they were just soaking it, I guess, and then they wrapped flowers in it and like rolled it up, and so in a way it was sort of tie-dyed, but we were getting the dye from the flowers, I think. Okay. I have no fucking
I was all over the place. At first I thought they were just getting food. I was like, okay, I wrote down like, okay, they're just getting food right away. And then I was like, oh, this isn't food. And then they're like soaking their nails, and I was like, oh, they're like getting their nails done. Okay, interesting. And then it was like none of those things.
It was like a handkerchief in water that they just had to like keep moving around for whatever reason. I have no fucking clue what this was. But at the end, they have handkerchiefs that
there were some nice handkerchiefs, yeah. Fucking look good in the handkerchief.
And it was a great excuse for some hand touching, you know, because they're in the same bowl.
Okay.
And she's super impressed with his tidy nails. I mean, A+ in that category.
They're not let you on see that. Okay. All right. They go on like a beach kind of walk.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, and he explains why he picked Hyewon over her for the Jeju travel date.
Right. Which is just, he said that they just went on a date and he thought he needed another chance to talk to her to figure out his feelings.
Yeah. He could have just said, I like Hyewon more than you, but you know.
Yeah. That would have been more honest.
Maybe a little less hard. I mean, I think Seokhyun knew what that meant. Yeah. But Seokhyun's really good at dating.
Yeah, absolutely.
She has another good date. I don't think Dongjin. I don't think anybody's had anything negative to say about any date with Seokhyun.
Yeah. How could you?
How could you? Yeah. Okay. Songjong and Huihyun?
Yes.
Now they make shirts.
They do.
But they like design on a tablet. Like a logo. I thought they were gonna print it like, you know, like repeating all over the sweatshirt, but it was just like,
oh really?
I don't know. I thought that in my head that was gonna be cooler. Maybe it's just because they chose white sweatshirts. I thought it was gonna be like that.
Oh yeah.
They end up just like only putting whatever logo on the front of it.
I just assumed that this place was like just printing out iron-on things and then ironing them on shirts. Is what I assumed was happening.
Super fancy. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think they also picked tangerines, but we don't really see that.
We don't really see it, but it comes up later. Yeah. But yeah, they like draw animal versions of each other, I think, is how it goes. Like the rabbit is supposed to be her, and she draws a bear that's supposed to be him, which is another cute interactive part of why this is better than the painting date we saw before.
Yeah.
But like it looked fun and like they were having a good time, but it didn't like feel like there was an overwhelming amount of chemistry happening, really.
I mean, if they just had a confessional saying like, oh, I had a good time and I'd want to date him more, I would be like, yeah, I believe it. But that didn't happen. So yeah.
Like even like just like within the content of the date, it felt like Hui-hyun was gonna make it be a good time, because like much in the way that Seokhyun is good to date, like he's gonna bring this energy of like, yeah, let's have fun or whatever. But I don't know, just didn't like there's no part where I believed he was really into her at all.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Dahae and Chongjin, they have a date.
They just talk about their exes.
And
then they debate who eats more between each of them.
Yeah, but that looked fun and cute, and like they're teasing each other in a way where I'm like, okay, I see this chemistry, but maybe it's not. Maybe they're still just sad friends on a show. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens if Chongjin like gives up on Yujong, which I think could be happening.
I think that is like the thing that is maybe stopping this from, like, I think Dahae would be okay with this being more of a thing.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, like these two are getting married or anything, but it's like, yeah, these are for both of them getting over their recent breakups or whatever. Like they seem like a decent enough couple. I don't know. The one question is like, what we don't get to see what they talk about that much other than their exes. I feel like,
yeah,
and even the thing about her eating a lot is like something we've seen them talk about before. But they're hanging out all day, so it's like they must be talking about other stuff. But the show is only interested in showing us when they're like talking about their exes. So it feels like there has to be something that can develop once they're both like actually moving on. Yeah. But neither of them is totally there yet, I don't think. All right. And then this is weird to me, but like, well, some people are still on their dates and some people aren't. But basically, the women all get a text saying that now they have to pick a date for their ex.
They do not have time to talk together about it. Yeah. And it seems like they have a limited time to get this information back because we have somebody's confessional where they're just like, I was running out of time and had to pick somebody.
Yeah. Now, I think 20 minutes is too much time to have to talk to your ex for this segment. But I feel like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes is like, okay, yeah, that would actually be like, it's useful to have to like force them to talk to each other because then the other person has a chance to be like, oh, this is the person I want to date.
Right.
But they don't do that. And the show probably knew that after the guys picked all what the women wanted, I feel like the show
show wanted to cause them chaos. How can we denied them that option?
Obvious who they should pick. Yeah. Yes. It's not going to stop me from shitting on some people, but
yeah, fair. But because some people definitely know who they should be picking, and then don't.
But there is like a caveat of like, okay, if the show had given the same situation as the guys, and they had a conversation, and that person was like, "I want you to pick this person for me," would they have been able to not pick who their ex wanted if like they literally just had a conversation? I don't know. But because like they have like this kind of like fake excuse of like, well, I thought like it would make sense that like you haven't dated this person yet, so maybe you should like give them a chance. Or like I don't know. It's like they in the moment like nobody told them what they should do. But if somebody told them literally what they should do, I'm not sure if they still wouldn't have done it. But I don't know. Yeah,
I'm interested in like I think Dahye picks in with honesty, and like if they had a moment to talk, she would have picked who he told her to pick.
I want to believe that, yes.
Okay, just need to make sure we're on the same page about that one. Other people, I totally believe.
When we get to it, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I read in my notes. Okay, because they don't. So the women are like picking now.
Yeah, like
but
while
we're
they're
not
on date.
Find out until later tonight. Okay,
but like Jongin specifically is at home. And Kwante is also at home at the time, and she doesn't go and ask him. And I wonder if the text is also like, don't go talk to this man, you know?
Maybe.
Or if there's any sort of instruction there, because like,
you're not.
If I was in her position, I would have been like, oh, let me go find this guy real quick.
Yeah.
And see what he wants, you know?
Yeah, that's what you'd think. Yeah. Yeah. I'll break down my emotions as it was happening when we get to it.
Okay.
Because I wrote down some harsher things and then took it back. Basically, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Hui-hyun intentionally, when they get back to the house, Hui-hyun like intentionally doesn't wear the sweatshirt because he does not want to upset Hye-won.
For once, thinking about what might upset her, I was like, this is character growth, right? Like he's learned a lesson, maybe.
I guess this is just more obvious to him. I still think the candies thing was weird. Like, I see from Hyun's perspective why that wasn't so obvious.
Yeah, but he did take that experience and maybe has applied that to more things. You know, like he's at least not acting with intentional like ignorance about this. Like he's
intentional ignorance.
Well, like, you know, intentionally being ignorant of what would be kind to, you know, I don't know. Like he's put a little effort in here, and I'm just a little teensy bit proud of him because he's been a dummy a lot in the past.
Well, he says like, oh, he knows like they never wore like couples outfits, so he would be like, it would be weird. Especially, I also think like if it was Seokhyun, is he wearing this couples sweatshirt? You know,
that's fair. Yeah, I think that might have made things different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Meanwhile, Seokhyun is wearing this handkerchief that Dongchin made for her around her neck while she's cooking.
It looks good. I'd wear it too. Why not?
Yeah. Well, she's clearly not worried about anybody being upset about anything, so it's fine.
Well, I think she also might want people to be upset about things. She's trying to do the opposite.
She is I think entering her I don't know, causing chaos era, we'll say.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Who cares?
We get a little Seokyeon Minhyung time. He seems to be like trying to pay attention to her, so if he is interested in anyone, it must be her, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Minhyun, the way they depict Minhyun, he's not going to date. He's doing nothing all day. Mm-hmm. But he's like very quick to like, okay, if he sees an opportunity to go talk to Seokyeon, he's gonna go talk to Seokyeon. Or if he sees an opportunity to go talk to Sungjeon, he's gonna go talk to Sungjeon. And I can't blame him for that. It's like,
yeah.
I mean,
we just don't see him take an opportunity with anybody else, so they're trying to tell us that Seokyeon's the person of interest.
Can't blame him for that either. It's like,
yeah, honestly.
Everybody else, like, he's got no shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than with his ex, and then he might actually like Seokyeon, and from what I know about them, that it seems like I can understand why he'd be into Seokyeon. I'm
just glad he's not jumping on the Yujong train. Enough people over there. Don't need to worry about it.
Okay. But then Minhyun goes to check on Songjong when she gets back, right?
Yes. And she is in bed and has a headache and tired from driving and does not seem to want to deal with anything. But he's just like, tell me about your date.
They're both weird here because it's like,
mm-hmm.
It is like, oh, she just got back, but also like I feel like he's not asking like super like you need to have a detailed question, and she's very like, she's like, I have a headache, and then he's like, oh, okay, do you want me to like get you some medicine? She's like, but I'm so tired. Like, I don't know. It was just a weird conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're almost like talking with each other, but not talking with each other. It was
and
weird.
Then they like go to his house to get some meds, and then she starts arguing about outfits again. Yeah, and I was just like, this is ridiculous.
It's too much.
I cannot handle it. I do not understand it.
No matter how many times he explains himself or apologizes, she's like, yeah, but
it's not enough.
But you knew that I would feel this way. It's like, okay, I didn't.
And he's like, I literally did not.
Okay, I literally didn't, and I said I'm sorry. Like
yeah, she's being super unreasonable.
I'm kind of convinced, like, okay, even if this outfit thing didn't happen, like, she would just find something else to be upset about. Like, that's how I feel about it. This is the point in my notes where I wrote, I'm totally out on Songjong.
Oh yeah, like, absolutely, 100%. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, quit the show. I don't care. Actually, you should quit the show. Incredibly unhealthy for you to be here. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of like the Haewon Candies thing, but like Songjeon is like way worse than Haewon was about it.
Yeah, and when Haewon and Heehyun had a conversation about it, he went, "Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry." And she went, "Okay." Like exactly. They resolved it.
It was like very easy to resolve, but these two are talking, and yeah.
He's like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "I'm still mad."
The more you talk about it, the more you talk about it. Is what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm already out, but there's more later.
Dongjin Haewon date?
Yeah. Very flirty date.
Mm-hmm. They're finally having a nighttime date, which is what she wanted.
Yes. He admits that he texted Dahye last night. Why?
Because he wanted to clear things up with her so she didn't feel like he picked Jong-un and was like more interested in her.
He thought like it'd be better to point out that he texted his ex.
Yes.
Okay.
Which like she was already like, oh, well, you went on a date with Jong-un, so you texted her. That makes sense. But then he's like, no, actually, I texted my ex because I made her cry and I had to apologize. Which, like, points for honesty, but also, like, I don't know that this makes you look better, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Like, did he feel guilty that he did that?
I think he just at this point, he is in on Haewon and wanted to make sure that he didn't fuck that up by not texting her yesterday. And so he thought by explaining what happened, it would make it better.
Okay. Yeah.
She seemed super understanding of the situation, so I guess it did, but I don't know. I would be like, why'd you make her cry?
She's a big Dahye fan too, so.
That's true.
Yeah, she gets it. She would text Dahye over everybody if she could, probably. Yeah, and then Dongjin I guess he's all in on Haewon now, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. He spent, I think, the next hour just telling her that she was pretty.
Yeah. Not like a sister anymore, right?
Nope. Those days are over.
Which, from Haewon's perspective, it's like a huge contrast from when Huihyun told her that she was unattractive.
Oh, yeah. So it's like extra meaningful that he's just like, you were the prettiest girl here. Dang.
Yeah. Again, there's like no, like, there's no like real substance to it. It's just like, he's just telling her she's attractive, but Hyeon's really into it. So it's like
I
cute to
mean,
watch,
there's nothing wrong with enjoying being told you're attractive, and like attraction is an important part of relationships.
I'm not saying
so,
it's not a stepping stone, but I also, for me, I'm not grabbing on to like anything that's like long term here yet. But yeah, at least Dongjin is like, it seems like he's all in, but he's also not over fighting with Dahye. So I don't totally know where Dongjin's at here, but okay, I'm in for this.
And he says, like, in confessional that he's super into her and does not feel the need to even date anybody else.
I wrote, I'm into this, but can you just stop being mean to Dahye? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that'd be great. I actually, like, I don't know, I enjoyed his date with Sokyun more. Maybe just because I like Sokyun better than I like Haewon. But, like, I see why this is a thing that's working, but it just feels like, I don't know, Sokyun's a better choice. I don't know.
Yeah. See, to me, like, Haewon and Dongjin, to me, are also very coincidental, and that doesn't mean that, like, coincidence can't lead to a long-term relationship, but it's like, they kind of, like, didn't go for each other in the beginning, and then they just kind of, Dongjin just kind of went on a date with her because he saw she was sad, and then there's, like, this whole thing where, I mean, she'd probably be happy about being called beautiful no matter what, but it's like extra meaningful because of how her ex was treating her like in the last week.
Yeah. But I think she was in on him before this date anyway. Like, I don't think that's the thing that put her over the edge. I think he might be coming to the point where he's over the edge and just totally into her now, but she was in on him fully earlier, I think.
Well, we discussed in the previous episode is that her number 2 was Dongjin and her number 1 was Huihyun.
Yeah, but I think by last date they went on, which was what? Coming to Jeju, right? Like, I think by then, the end of that date, she was in on Dongjin.
I don't know. I feel like since they've been to Jeju, we saw, because Haewon and Huihyun had that conversation where
they did have the awkward times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Haewon would get back with Huihyun if Huihyun...
After this date?
Maybe not after this.
Okay.
Maybe not after this. But I wouldn't say like, oh, her number 1 was Dongjin going into this date.
Interesting. Okay, you might be right, but I feel like she was a little bit more solid before Dongjin was. Is at least the vibe I get.
Okay, not very solid, but maybe more solid.
Okay. But like, even in like you were saying that this feels very coincidental and that they didn't like necessarily vibe at first, but like I trust that more than a instant like love at first sight bullshit vibing thing, you know? Like, they got to know each other more, and then we're like, oh, yes, this person. I like this person. That feels more substantive. I can't talk. That feels like it has more substance than the other way around.
I feel like for Dongjin, as far as what I can remember, I don't really know what he's looking for in a partner other than that they're attractive. Because, like, I feel like he was going for Yoojung because he thought she was the most attractive. And now his confession of liking Haewon is basically centered around saying how beautiful she was. And like, oh, you were he specifically is saying like, oh, when we watched the pre-show meetings with all the exes, I thought you were the most beautiful for those meetings. Is like what he's saying, right?
Yeah, but I think like that's more of a symptom of him feeling feelings for her, because I think like a lot of times when you like someone, like they just become more attractive to you over time. And I think he's just now at the point where he likes her enough where he can like say this shit at her, and it's not about that she's pretty. He likes her enough now that he can say she's pretty.
Okay. I mean, I get why he likes Haewon. I mean, Haewon laughs at everything he says.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger part of it, honestly.
I mean, like, if I went on a date with Haewon, I would like Haewon too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they go for a walk on the beach, and Dongjin writes their English initials in the sand.
Yeah, yep.
There you go.
Oh, and he's like, I don't know, I guess she has been saying smooth shit all along, and now he's learned to say smooth shit from her. And so it
did not like, translate to me, but okay.
Yeah, but like she's like asked him what else he wants to do on Jeju, and he's like, "Don't you mean what else do I want to do with you on Jeju?" Like just I don't know. There's a lot of bouncing back and forth with these like,
oh yeah, they're super
smooth ass one-liners.
Super
that
flirty,
is flirty and cute. Yeah.
Okay, back to the house. We're in the common area.
Kitchen. Sokyun puts on Ju-won's sweater, and then there's dramatic music, and then it never comes up again.
I mean,
it was a weird moment.
When they talk,
not the later, sweater itself.
The sweater itself, but it was like foreshadowing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets back. somehow Hyewon and Dongjin are giving off vibes.
Yeah, just they walk in the room and everybody's like, oh, things are different now, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I guess they're just like a little more giddy or something. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, also seems like they might just be drunk.
Also true.
Which, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell. But Hyewon is like worried Dahae is gonna feel a way about her liking Dongjin, and then Dahae actually says like, "Oh, we should talk." We don't get this conversation, right?
We do not get this conversation.
All right, maybe they're too drunk to do it tonight.
And I wonder if the conversation is a mix of, I think on a certain level it is, hey, don't worry about it. It's okay, date him. It's fine. But on another level might be, oops, I messed up. I'm sorry. I picked that other girl for him to go on a date with. If I had realized, I would have picked you, you know?
In this moment, you think it's that? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of both of those things.
What's interesting is like we never actually get Dahae apologizing to Dongjin for her selection. It's because, and it's partially because, maybe we should just wait till we get to it, but it's because she wants like Dongjin to mention Hyewon before she does. And Dongjin refuses to talk about Hyewon.
Yeah, he does absolutely refuse to
in front of
mention
Dahae.
her ever.
Yeah.
And yet he still has this attitude about like, how could you not pick her? Like he is full of contradictions and it is annoying.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Overall, everybody shares their dating experiences and exes have feelings. I didn't write everything down. Is there anything?
Hyewon actually says that Hui-hyun and Seungjeon make a cute couple and like she meant it. She's like at that point where she's like, fuck it, whatever.
Of course she does. She has somebody else now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that's the evidence that, okay, maybe Dongjin's number one now.
Yeah.
Okay. After this date. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We get a doorbell. We get the letter. It's the selections that the women made. The guys were in the dark about this, but the women already knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess they weren't allowed to tell them.
Dahae ends up reading it all out. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or they were, I don't know. Everybody's all about keeping secrets on this show, I guess.
Yeah, they must have had to. All right, give me these selections. I'll give you my reactions as we go.
Jonghyun picked Yoo-jung for Kwante.
Let's go.
Good job. That's exactly what we wanted. We did see.
I can still be a Jonghyun supporter.
Yeah,
let's go.
We did see earlier she like didn't want to pick Yoo-jung at first because she knows that Yoo-jung's not into him and wanted to pick someone he had a chance with, and then in the end just gave up.
Yeah, that was almost like fair, but also I think you just have to pick Yoo-jung still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because like she's been getting the like Kwante's still texting Yoo-jung every night, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You just got to pick Yoo-jung. Yeah. She did the right thing.
So then Seungjeon picked Jonghyun for Minhyung because they're both doctors. Exactly what Jonghyun didn't want.
But she's doing it for Minhyung. I wrote like, we know that this is a bad choice, but I actually don't know if Seungjeon knows this is a bad choice.
Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know that I guess she would know that he texted Seokhyun after they went on a date, right? But he did text Seungjeon the other night, so she doesn't have a lot to go on in terms of who he would want. Yeah,
it almost makes sense that like maybe she could actually think like, oh, he doesn't want to date Seokhyun because he texted me the next day. I don't know. I actually didn't have a huge reaction to this one, but like we know it's a bad choice because we saw Jonghyun's reaction to the suggestion of having a date with Minhyung.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunate. If only they could have talked before the selections were made. But all right.
So Hyewon picked Dahae for Hui-hyun, despite very recently being like, "Oh, you make a cute couple with Seungjeon."
I wrote, "Okay, Hyewon is trolling. She's dead to me."
And the face that Hui-hyun made, like, what the fuck? Why would you ever? That was pretty hilarious, actually.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like.
Yeah, she absolutely just did not want him to go with Seokhyun. It was petty. Yep.
Like they literally had a conversation where he was like, it was clear it was between Hyewon and Seokhyun.
Yep.
And Hyewon's not an option this time.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, even if she's like being petty about Seokhyun, she did see him just come back from a date with Seungjeon and said they look like she could have picked her. But nope, she's just not even. She's like, let me give you the person you've talked to the least, who you have the least in common with. Let's go.
I'll say it, like, if you don't want to do what your ex wants, I'm fine with that. But you have to go in the confessional and be like, yeah, I fucking hate my ex, so I'm not gonna give him what he wants. Like, but they always like people always do is like they don't give him what they want, and then they go in confessional and be like, well, I know Dahae and Huihyun like haven't gone on a date yet, so I thought it would just be good for Huihyun to like maybe like see somebody else. Like they try to justify it like they actually made a good decision, but like if they just want to like not do what their ex wants, just tell me that you're like petty or that you just hate you're mad at your ex for whatever reason, and that's why you're doing it. And that, like I feel like I'm good with that, you know.
What kills me is when people are like, I just really want to, like, people who want to be back with their ex are just like, no, but I can't possibly pick who they want because that's like pushing them towards that person. And I'm like, no, you're just pissing them off and pushing them more away from you, regardless of this other person. Like, it's not going to help your situation.
Yeah, the timing of it for Hyewon is weird though. It's like at what point in the Dongjin date did she start being? If we think her Dongjin is her number one, like when did that happen versus when she had to make this decision?
Yeah,
and that's like a bit of a
so it's extra petty that she's sort of in the process of moving on, but still it's just like, fuck this guy, I'm not gonna give him what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the timing of at what point in the date she had to make the decision, but it looks really bad, I would say.
Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, not a big K1 fan after this, but
yeah,
it's not as bad as it was last season because like if Hyewon had talked to Huihyun and when Huihyun was like, yeah, I really want you to pick Seokhyun for me, maybe Hyewon picks Seokhyun. But they have this
you think so?
There's like a disconnect because I don't have to like do it to their face. And it's not like they told me what to do, so I can like act like I didn't know what to do. I don't know. I think maybe she doesn't do it if they have a 5-minute conversation, but
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't feel as upset about it as I did last season, even though I wrote a dramatic thing in my notes.
Okay. Then we have Dahae picks Jongwon for Dongjin.
I wrote, okay, Dahae is trolling. She's dead to me.
Oh, really?
That's what I wrote immediately in my notes, yeah.
Okay.
I did a lot of coping comments in my notes after that.
Okay,
because I don't want to be out on Dahae, but
I think her explanation for the situation makes sense. Where, like, as far as she knows, this Jongwon date that just happened went really well. She, thinks they would work well together. She doesn't, like, he never says Haewon to her.
Yeah, I agree.
So she doesn't have that information in the way, like, she does know that he texted her once, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And that they went to Jeju, they came to Jeju together. So, like, that's it.
Yeah. I think all evidence that we've seen has shown if Dongjin had told Dahae, I really like Hyewon, she would 100% would have picked Hyewon here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it actually, the way, when you do think about it, like, okay, does she really know about Hyewon? She doesn't. At the time that she had to pick, which was prior to them coming back from this date.
Right.
Also wrote, Dongjin was very recently terrible to Dahae, so I don't really care. that was my first cope comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got into the whole like, oh yeah, it actually kind of makes sense why she picked Jong-un. Also, I think Jong-un makes sense for Dongjin if they both, work.
Yeah.
Also, Dahae likes Jong-un, so I think it is a little bit of like, oh, I like this girl. Like, I think she wants Dongjin to be with somebody nice,
Well, she is actually like really close with Haewon too. Like she likes Haewon.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like she likes Haewon so much though that it's a little bit. It might be a little bit messy.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh, we were actually friends, but yeah. I went into this being like, okay, I'm gonna hate anybody who doesn't choose the obvious person. But I think, yeah, there's enough here where you can give Dahae a pass.
Yeah, I agree
on this. Although I was really, really, really looking forward to like her like just going to Dongjin or even Hyewon and being like, I'm sorry, I should have picked you guys to go on a date each other, but I didn't realize. But we don't get that. And it's partially Dongjin's fault, but it's a little bit of like Dahae is like...
We might still get that if we get that conversation between her and Haewon that she sets up.
Yeah, it would have been nice for her to say it to Dongjin, but at the same time, Dongjin's being an ass.
He made it kind of impossible to... Yeah.
It wasn't impossible to apologize, but, would I want to be apologizing for something to Dongjin at this moment either? No, probably not. I probably just won't be talking to him.
Okay, then we've got Seokhyun also picks Jongwon for Juwon.
I wrote, okay, Seokhyun is trolling. She's dead to me.
Yeah, but in the confessional, she is upfront about it. She's just like, Juwon and Yujong have gone on too many dates. She doesn't need to go on any more dates with her. Like, she's at least a lot more straightforward with that of just like, yeah, I'm kind of being petty.
Yeah. This one's not as bad because it's like what she's doing is bad, but because we know the level of like intensity between Ju-won and Yu-jung, it's not like them not going on a date is gonna hurt.
It's gonna ruin things. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not great. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But again, I also do feel like, if they had talked for 5 minutes and Ju-won is like, yeah, Yu-jung's the only person I want to go on a date with, would Seok-hyun have actually been able to do it if she had just had the conversation with him? I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know. I think she might have.
She might have, but I definitely think it's. I would have guessed that all the women would have given their exes what they wanted if they had the same setup as the guys did.
Interesting. Okay.
The one I thought that might not do it was Yu-jung.
Well, no, Yu-jung picks Dahae for Chungjin, which, I mean, we assume is what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they had a conversation, he might have pulled the like, oh, you can choose whoever you want for me move or something, but it's not like there's anybody else Chungjin wanted, right? Like Chungjin wants to date Yu-jung, but it's not a choice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Yu-jung did the right thing, I would say.
But like her talking about it, she's just like, yeah, they've been texting each other, and so I'm like numb to their whole thing already anyway, so might as well just pick her. It doesn't matter. Like she already had her feelings she was gonna have about them or whatever, and is like, okay, I'm over it.
You think if this happened like 5 days ago though, maybe it would have been spicier?
Well, I mean, she did have a little bit of, I don't think it would have been that spicier, but like the way she puts it's like picking somebody else almost would have been like made her feel worse because she just already dealt with these feelings,
Also, I feel like if you're like, if theoretically you're having the most successful new relationship on the show, it's like
it's hard to feel super bad about your ex like, you don't even want to get back with.
Yeah, I wrote down in my notes, I guess Yu-jung is one of my favorite women now. Because I wrote so many other women were dead to me.
Well, it's just her and Jungwon, right? That's it.
And Songjong, but I'm out of Songjong, so yeah.
Oh yeah, out on.
In terms of this segment, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm coming around on Yu-jung a little bit though. She has like some like, she's like the catalyst of like some more candid conversations that happen in a way that I appreciated.
Yeah,
I think it's like partially because she feels so good about her spot in the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd probably be full okay with Yu-jung if she like just apologized to Kwante about what she said in confessionals, but honestly, that's like the basis of why I didn't like her. But yeah, maybe that'll happen on the date. Maybe she'll be like, maybe something. I've been
shit talking you in confessional. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Jonghyun has 3 dates.
Yeah, the person who was like, I don't want to go on more dates with different people because that'll just confuse things, now has dates with more people.
Yeah.
But she is most excited about the Ju-won date for whatever reason.
Yep, that's weird. Okay. She wasn't against the Dongjin second date either, which I wasn't sure what the deal was with that, but okay.
She wasn't against it, but it's not the one she's most excited for, so it couldn't have been that much of a connection.
Yeah, this is the point in the show where I was like, man, the show's... I just got a list of 6 more dates that we're going to get next episode. I don't see any of them being of consequence. I'm like a little bit interested in like the Yu-jung Kwante date, just for my own narrative purposes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a nothing date, but sure. Yeah.
I think if so this is all Kwante has to do. He just has to continue to reassure her that she's the only one that he cares about texting the rest of the show. And then hope shit just hits the fan with whatever Ju-won's doing. And that's all he has to do.
That's still just going to get her to leave the show with him, not have any actual feelings about him.
I guess. I mean, he'll look better than Ju-won, that's for sure. Because to say, all these reassurances that supposedly Ju-won has given her are like total BS, right? Like he's like, because all the moments of reassurance that they're talking about is like, okay, I got like she had 3 dates that day, but she only got 1 text, and Ju-won like text like he might have texted Seok-hyun that day, or maybe he texted Songjong. I'm not sure, but it's like then he goes to her and reassures her like, the reassurance is like, oh, I just so you know, I realized this could have hurt your feelings, I guess. Mm-hmm. But like this whole time, Ju-won will choose Seokyoon if Seokyoon decides that that's what she wants.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. What she knows is that every single other fucking text has come from Ju-won. She's just gotten a text from him the rest of the fucking time.
Yeah, but I'm saying Ju-won's assurances are like empty because
yeah, but she doesn't know that.
Like, she doesn't know that. I'm just saying that they aren't actually like
yeah, but there's no like the way she feels about him makes sense.
If she watches the show, she will see that all those supposed assurances were not actually assurances.
If they leave the show and date, like he has to find a way to erase the show from the internet, or they're gonna break up immediately.
If we're using the Yoo-jung logic that she's explaining to us, yes. I'm not sure if that's what would actually happen, but yeah, okay. This is why that's another reason it's hard to kind of grab onto this. If they do leave the show together, it's like what? It feels like their entire relationship was built on a lie, essentially. That's how I feel.
I mean,
like she literally said at one point, like, I don't want Ju-won to pick me if he still has feelings for his ex.
Yeah.
And we literally know that that's the case.
Has she ever directly asked him if he has feelings for his ex?
Yes, I believe so.
Has she? No, I don't remember.
She's brought up they had a whole conversation where
like these are things she said to confessional, but she didn't say to him, "I don't want you to pick me unless you don't have any feelings for your ex."
She didn't say that to him, but what they did have a conversation where she was like talking about how like, oh, she likes Ju-won and she doesn't want to get back with her ex. Ju-won did not like reciprocate those exact words, but yeah, I'm just trying to explain why I can't get behind rooting for this. If like they're telling me what they're looking for and like she thinks she's getting what she's looking for, but she's definitely not, right? Like,
yeah, I'm not rooting for this, but I see that it makes sense that it is happening.
It makes no sense at all.
No, I think it totally makes sense why she feels the way she does.
Oh, it makes sense that it's happening, but it doesn't make sense that it would be a long-term thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna, because I think she'll see the show and then feel shitty about things. Okay. But like in terms of this particular slice of time with these two people together, like I understand it. Like I understand they're vibing. He's hiding the fact that he's still obsessed with his ex, which is shitty, but you know, like the context makes sense to me right now.
Okay. Just saying, I'll probably keep 2xing through their dates if they have them.
Okay.
It's not, whatever. Okay. There's texting time. No way I'm going through these texts. They mostly just text. I'm not doing it. They mostly just go through and text who they dated, with a couple exceptions, which I have. Kwante is still texting Yoo-jung.
Well, yeah, he didn't go on any dates.
He even texted her, like, almost pretending that he went fishing with her.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Kwante's just trolling. It's funny.
But even weirder was Chongjin texts her and was just like, I love talking to you. I thought about you today. I'm like, what?
They talked that night, like last night after texting.
I know, but like that conversation did not seem like a follow-up text conversation.
I mean, it is if the only thing you're trying to do is get back with your ex.
Yeah.
That was a great conversation for Chongjin. Okay.
I mean, she talked about how into Ju-won she was the whole time. Like, I don't think there was anything promising for him from that conversation, but okay.
Yeah, but then she was like, oh, I thought, like, when you were talking to Dahae, that was, like, really annoying. Like,
I guess there was that little
She left some gray areas for his mind to work with there, yeah. Minhyun texts Songjong. This is the classic, the classics, be mean to somebody and get a text from them, right? Songjong was like totally unreasonable about the whole outfit.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And Minhyun was like, oh, don't worry, I'll send you a text.
Yeah.
Okay. But Songjong doesn't text him. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, because she went on a date today, so she does the polite thing, I guess, of texting the person she went on a date.
Okay. We find out like she literally wants to get back together with Minhyun.
Yeah, she does.
She's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I'm more out on Songjong than I am Dongjun. I'll say that.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Songjong is like close to Haeun level. I don't know. It hasn't happened. It hasn't been going on long enough, but like
Is this what
the
Haeun would have been like if
unreasonableness.
she had gotten in the house first? We would have thought she was pleasant and fun, and then the
And
turn
Gyumin
would
came
happen
later.
as soon as Gyumin showed up. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I also 2X through the whole backstory because I was just like, I don't care.
I got you.
All right, you're gonna have to explain it to me, but there was like some details that I was like, okay. And then Changjin still texts Yu Jung again. And then Seolkyun gets the text that Ju-won texted Yu Jung again. And then Seolkyun's like, it might be ready for me to make my move.
In a confessional, she's literally like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if I wanted him back, I could get him back. I'm like, yeah, that is true. That is true.
No, she's straight up says that to Hui Hyun and Kwon. She's just like, yeah, I get the feeling like if I just want him back, then he'll come back.
And they were both shocked because as far as they're concerned, like, Ju-won and Yu Jung is the most solid thing that has ever been on this show. And she's like, nah, you idiots. He's definitely going to come right back as soon as I call for him.
Yeah. We have to get through another Dahye and Dongjin talk, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have clumped all of their drama together so we can just get through it for the rest of this episode. Because they, like, have a little drama, go apart, have some more drama, and I just clumped all their drama together. So yeah, they're, like, alone in the kitchen, and he cannot help himself but, like, he's like, going on a date with Jong tomorrow. Like, he won't say, like, why the fuck didn't you pick Haewon? And he's kind of like, no, it's fine or whatever. But he, like, initiates this, like, grumbling about this date he has to go on. And she's just like, I thought you liked her. Like, I thought you went on a date with her that was good. Like, who else was I didn't know who else I was supposed to pick. And he's just like, no, it's fine. You pick who you wanted. I mean, I picked who you wanted, but it's fine. And she's like, you literally would not tell me who you wanted. And, she even goes like, would it have been better if I picked Haewon? And he just won't talk about it. It's just being so fucking petty and dumb.
Haewon is like Lord Voldemort. Like, you can't say, like, can't say Haewon.
Yeah.
It's taboo. You can't nod around Dahye. Can't say that.
Nope. Can't do it.
Don't know why.
Yep. Because Dongjin's being a teen little baby and petty and dumb. Yeah, that's why.
Massive baby.
Yeah.
Or a dum-dum. Can't tell.
a dumb baby. He's being a dumb baby.
Oh, okay.
And then a little later, they are, like, sitting with Yu Jung, and she's, like, asking them questions about their relationship, like, who broke up with who, or did anybody contact anybody after they broke up? And Dahye's like, yeah, I texted him, and he blocked me, and Dahye invited him on the show, and she's just like, why did you come on the show? And it's just like, Yu Jung, what the fuck are you trying to say?
No, I like this. Now? No, I like this. No, I'm in favor of this. Yu Jung, keep doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is good. These are conversations that should be happening between the exes, right? It's like, I don't know.
I guess, yeah, but, like, is it Yu Jung's place to stir this shit up? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, once you know who the exes are, you just like, yeah, if you're alone with them, you're like, okay, so what's the deal with you two? What juicy details do you want to give to me? Yeah, I'm here for that.
Oh yeah, and then he says, like, he came on the show to help Dahye find new love, and she's just like, help me my foot, like,
yeah.
And then the argument starts, and then Yu Jung just nopes out of there.
I was a little disappointed she left. I don't know if I'd be leaving. Why not?
Because who wants to sit in the middle of two people arguing about their relationship? That is the most uncomfortable shit. No.
Maybe it depends on what level it got to, but yeah, I don't know. Like, so I was saying, like, Dahye doesn't apologize here, but, like, at the same time, it's like, okay, until Dongjin says he wanted to date Haewon, Dahye, it is like a little weird if Dahye's like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have picked Haewon, if Dongjin never admits that he wanted it to be Haewon. And, like, until Dongjin admits he wanted it to be Haewon, then there isn't anything to apologize for, right?
That's true. He's just,
it's like weird.
Basically, he's like saying he's unhappy, but refuses to, like, say who she should have picked. Like, she should just have known, but refuses to confirm when she tries to guess who she should have known. And it's like, you gotta pick a side, dude. If you're gonna be upset about it, you gotta be able to say the person who you wanted her to pick.
Yeah. So maybe she will apologize to Haewon when they talk, because Haewon will probably say that she wished she was dating Dongjin or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully that happens. then this leads to an outside conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is like you can't be with somebody like this. At least I couldn't. Like, he's literally just pulling shit out of his ass. Like, he's upset that Dahye is nicer to everyone else and not to him. Because he's been so nice to Dahye this whole time.
Mm.
Also,
yeah, and it's
you didn't talk to me. How can I be nice to you if you don't talk to me?
Like, yeah, and he's like upset that she's like, well, I thought you were doing fine. I didn't think you were struggling. And he's like, how could you not see that I was struggling? And just, like, literally wouldn't talk to me. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, you seem like you're fine. And he's just mad at her for just not knowing, but refuses to communicate about it.
Other people talk to me and they're like, yeah, I'm struggling. And then I comfort them, but you don't talk to me. It's like, yeah, what the hell? And then he's like, oh, but we dated for 13 years, so you should just know everything I'm thinking all the time. And somehow you know what everybody else is thinking, but not me. It's like, what? What are we talking about?
Yeah, everybody else is talking.
Yeah. Oh, communicating thoughts and then being able to respond and yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm fucking out, Sarah. I'll be honest. I don't care. I mean, I wasn't in on him as much as you were, but
yeah,
like, he can go on. He can date Dahye. They could have a great relationship, but I mean,
you mean Haewon?
Yeah, Haewon, whatever. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it just if it at some point in a relationship, like, there's gonna be disagreements or whatever, but like, if you argue like a child, I just don't see.
Yeah,
I'm not okay with it. I'm just not. It doesn't work for me. Maybe Haewon is like, I can deal with a big baby, but maybe some people.
It's just kind of shocking that you get through a 13-year relationship and you still can't communicate with this person. Like, I don't like what? How?
Yeah, that's why I don't really get it. Like, is this jealousy where he does want to get back together with her, but he's like steadfast, like, I came on this show to find somebody new and I will not switch that goal until the show is over. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he does. Like, in the same way he refuses to say Haewon's name, he also refuses to say that he doesn't want to get back to her with Dahye. He'll say he doesn't want to hurt her again. He doesn't want to.
That was the smartest thing he said the whole time. Was like, look, I of course I still have like some feelings for you, and I don't want to hurt you. Maybe we should just not talk to each other. Like, that was like that was like the smartest thing he said the whole time. But that's not necessarily what Dahye wants either, because she's still. I don't know how she could still like this guy, but
no, it's got, a lot of baggage with him. It's like,
yeah,
she's got all this history with him. It's hard to let go.
Yeah, she can do better.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you all the way out yet?
I don't want to be, but functionally at this time, probably yes.
It's not like there are a lot of people I like compared to season 2 still.
Oh wait, did you mean on the show or on Dongjin? Because I meant Dongjin.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're out of Dongjin. I was then saying, I feel like there still are like a handful of people that I actually like on the show.
Yeah. Dahye,
like last season,
never done a thing wrong on this show as far as I'm concerned.
Never done anything wrong. I mean, I think there are like nuances.
Other than coming on the show. Coming on the show was a mistake.
That's a mistake everybody makes, but
it's true.
I think there are like nuances, like, okay, could Dahye have been like a little bit more perfect? But like, it's very nitpicky compared to like the obvious like red flags and flaws that other people have. Okay. Juwon gets Seokhyun to talk.
Okay, I've also grouped all of this drama together.
Juwon initiation.
Yes.
Okay. Where do we start?
We get a little moment of Yoo-jung seeing them walk to the smoking area. It doesn't become a thing this episode, but maybe later. So she's at least aware they're talking or whatever.
Well, they talk later, and she.
That's right, they do.
Him about it, he's actually not upset about picking Yoo-jung, so who am I to be upset if he's not even that upset?
Yeah, he literally doesn't give a fuck because like things with Yoo-jung are as secure as they're going to be, and he also doesn't care about that if Seokhyun wants to give. This whole conversation is him going, wait, you didn't pick the person I thought you would pick. Does that mean you're into me? Like,
yeah,
it's basically what this is.
He wants it to be that. Yeah. So I mean, if he's not upset, I'll give Seokhyun a pass too. Why not? Who cares?
You don't really get into what she was thinking when she picked not Yoo-jung.
That's not what he came to talk about at all, right?
Well, like, I mean, he came to talk about that in terms of just like, does that mean you're into me or not? So we
like,
don't get
where's
quite
us?
into that.
Where's our relationship at? Give me a status report.
But he quickly gets upset about her like dating all the guys and touching the guys.
The touching,
and yeah. And she seems to be annoyed that he's like really into one person. Like they're equally annoyed about opposite things in each other, you know?
This is their whole like their default is just to like accuse the other person of being worse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So they're terrible for each other. But...
Oh yeah, they're absolutely terrible for each other and should not get back together.
But I hope they do.
But this is where she explains that for a while she was actually really into Quante, but she's not into him anymore. But she does say if he's nice to her again, she might text him. So
yeah.
There you go.
To Quante, yeah. Yeah, she'll text whoever. I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter until they let the exes start dating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then they start rehashing like the day they broke up.
Like they always do.
Apparently, I don't remember this detail. Like Ju-won said like some word that Seok-hyun like can't forget. Like what I don't know.
I went back to check what we got with their ex reveal, and what we got from that was that he said, "You're being so mean, you're terrible, you're gaslighting me." I think that either that translation wasn't completely accurate or that was his softened version for production, whereas he might have called her like a bitch or, you know, a harsher word, and we're not quite getting that.
I thought he just might have said like I hate you or something, but I don't
or
know.
Maybe that, I don't know, but they do seem to like, at least the translation here is like harping on one word that he used.
Yeah, we don't know what that word is. Maybe listeners might know and they can fill us in. Yeah, I really don't understand why this conversation is happening. I mean, I guess I do, because it's just like Ju-won thinks he sees a window into, oh, Seok-hyun is interested in me still, so let me go talk to her and see where we're at. And I guess that's why this conversation is happening. But
I mean, ultimately it's like she does want to get back with him, but she can't get over this thing he said to her. And so she's saying like, I just don't know how to get over that. If we would get back together again, it would still be in my head that you called me that or said that word to me or whatever.
Yeah. But is she like prompting him to like apologize? But neither of them like, but then he just decides to say, well, you said all this stuff too, which was really mean.
Meaner. He's like, I only said that because of how you were behaving. It's your fault. I'm like, yeah, that's a great move, Ju-won. Good job. This is ridiculous people.
Yeah, neither of them is apologizing, but like it feels like they both want to get back together, but
neither of them want to like take responsibility in the thing that led to them breaking up.
Yeah, I mean, they both even might be willing to apologize, but just want the other person to do it first. Like I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, this was like kind of, I don't know. It was like a very small thing, like her not picking Yoo Jung led to this conversation, which is going to lead to them potentially getting back together. So I mean, I guess Seok-hyun played it right. What do we know?
Yeah, and then this is when she goes back to
Ju-won starts to cry here.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. He like does this hoodie up and is like, I'm not crying, you're crying, whatever, you know. But yeah, then when they part, like this is when she goes back to Hui-hyun and Quante and is like, I can get that boy back whenever I want.
Yeah. I guess I enjoy like Seok-hyun's like awareness, I guess.
And confidence. Yeah,
she's very like admirable.
I just wish she would use that somewhere else. Not getting back with this man.
Yeah, it's just too good for the narrative of the show from my perspective. If they do get back together, like I'm just gonna root for it, but like I don't actually like I don't even care if they like choose each other at the end. I just want her to mess up what Ju-won has with Yoo Jung. That's all it really is. I want Yoo Jung to see the truth, you know, before the end of the show.
So like an ideal scenario would be Seok-hyun gives Ju-won every indication that she's going to pick him in the end. Yeah. So he picks her.
Yeah.
But then she picks like Quante or something.
And then she picks nobody.
Ooh. Ultimate baller move. Pick nobody. Yeah.
And then Yoo Jung and Quante. That's That's the dream. The dream.
No, because at the end, Yoo-jung would still be picking Ju-won because she doesn't know that he has betrayed her yet.
No, she's gonna find out. No, she finds out, but then
how's she gonna find out?
No, like she finds out because Ju-won, like when they start dating each other, and then Ju-won gets feelings, and then somehow it's just obvious, or maybe Ju-won admits it to Yoo-jung. I don't know, but then Seokjun.
No, I think in the
doesn't pick him in the
end. I think the final pick. Like, I think he would not indicate to Yoo-jung that he's switching at all until the final pick when he picks Seokjun, and then Seokjun's like, bye. And Yoo-jung watches the whole thing.
Now, after Ju-won and Seokjun go on a date, Yoo-jung's going to pick up on some vibes. Because she would pick up on vibes if they weren't there.
Okay,
right?
Okay, yeah.
If they are there, Yoo-jung's she's going to feel it. Come on.
All right, I guess we'll have to see.
All right. But yeah, so Ben, they talk again, right?
Well, before they talk again, Ju-won goes to talk to Yoo-jung.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And explains that he went to talk to her. Like, she speculates, like, oh, does Seokjun still have feelings for you because she picked somebody else for your date? And Ju-won's like, oh yeah, that's why I went to talk to her, to make sure we didn't have any misunderstandings. Like he's trying to say, like, I just wanted to make sure she knows I'm not into her anymore.
He's straight up
which
lying.
Is a big giant lie. Yeah.
No, everything's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, everything's cool. So no big deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then somehow Kwante, because she's going on a date with Kwante. So yes. I guess they bring that up. Yoo-jung says she respects Kwante
for still being interested in her.
Yeah,
even though
she likes
not
that.
Into him.
She likes that. Yeah, but she says she's not into him, but that's also within the context of Ju-won's not lying to her constantly. But she might find out that he was lying to her at some point, and then she might feel differently about Kwante.
I really don't think that's magically going to flip a switch on Kwante. She has already filed Kwante in her brain into the group of men she doesn't want to date in the world, Like,
I don't know. I mean, she still respects him for still going after her,
She can like the fact that he likes her, but I don't think that makes him gonna make him attractive to her.
To me, she definitely doesn't sound like she doesn't like Kwante. I'll say that.
I mean, given how much time in the past she has spent shit-talking him in confessional, I do think it's true that she does not like Kwante.
All right.
This is gonna be our big bet at the end. Like,
well, my side is the more likely to lose for sure. But I'm just trying to be bold here and give Kwante some hope here. Come on. Yeah, she is clear about liking Ju-won though.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So then later, after all of that, Seokjun goes to find Ju-won because she was worried about him because he had been crying earlier. And then she apologizes for
then she's
touching all the boys.
She is full game mode here. Let's go, Seokjun.
She's like, I'm sorry. I'm going to be careful going forward. She's like, this drunk pulse thing that I always do is a habit I have with friends. And she's sad that things between them are over, but she's afraid it's going to be too hard to get back together.
She apologizes for doing nothing wrong with the guys. And then she starts making moves with Ju-won, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I want to get back together, but I know it'll be difficult.
And then she's all like, yeah, and I see you developing feelings for Yoo-jung, and so I've decided to get over you because of that. And he's like, wait.
Let's just,
Let's just back off of that point for a moment, please.
Yeah, me and Yoo-jung, but you and me, let's just talk about that some more. Yeah, he definitely wants to get back with her.
Mm-hmm. And then he's like, we just need to not talk about why we broke up anymore. We were both wrong. Let's move on. And she's just like, stops him and actually is like, I'm sorry. I was acting poorly that day. I apologize for it.
Ju-won, you were right. I was the one that was being ridiculous. Please, can you forgive me?
And then, like, this is at the end of the episode, and the final line is him just being like, I'm in the palm of your hand. And I'm like, bitch, we knew that. We knew it already.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Ju-won knows what's going on here, too. Everybody knows what's going on, except for Yoo-jung.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, all the guys, like, none of the...
Yeah, they didn't know either, but I'm saying, in terms of, Yeah.
The three of them, yeah.
I read my notes. I would usually find this really annoying, but for some reason I'm rooting for it. I'm looking forward to the domino effects that this has on the rest of the show. So
okay.
It's happening, Sarah. Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's happening, but the final domino is not happening.
This is great. All right. Something to root for on this show. Come on.
Sure.
I'm into this story. Okay. I'm into this storyline. I was never as into a storyline in season 2 as I am into this storyline.
I do enjoy Sokyun really stepping into the power she has over this man. It is kind of good.
I mean, if you're a Yoo Jung fan, which I have not been, but I kind of liked her in these 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should also be rooting for Ju-won to get exposed, right? Like, it's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
If you like her, she could do better than Ju-won. Like,
yeah, by her own standards, Ju-won is like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just hoping if it comes down to choosing between Kwante and Changjin, she chooses Kwante. That's what I'm hoping. And the only reason I think that could happen is just because it has been part of the storyline, but also it's like, what else would they be doing with Kwante? So I don't know. It could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm becoming such a big Kwante fan. I'm now full on board the Kwante bandwagon. That I hope he they'd be great together. Come on, we can do it.
I don't believe in it, but sure.
Okay, that was the end of episode 15. But did we miss any?
We missed some Changjin and Yoo Jung drama, and then the whole Sungjun Min Hyung ending
backstory
bullshit. Okay, so Changjin and Yoo Jung are having a conversation up in the kitchen that Dahae interrupts to make ramen for Dongjin, and it's weird.
I was confused why this conversation was also happening. We didn't really get to see who initiated this. I guess it's probably
it's unclear. Yeah, probably.
But this basically, the way I saw it was like Changjin. Well, Changjin says, at least in confessional, I forget it word to him. Like he's kind of like tired of being compared to Ju-won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, whenever they talk about Ju-won, and then that's how she always frames it. Which I mean, if you're Changjin, that's super annoying, right? But I mean, it's how you can stop talking about it.
And I think he even says to her, like, "Stop comparing me to him," and she's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna leave now." And he's just like, "Wait, that's not what I meant.
That's not what I wanted to happen." I feel like Changjin, I guess he doesn't really know how much he likes Ju-won because he hasn't totally asked her to like directly, how much do you actually like this guy? I guess we really don't know either. We just see her.
Oh, I think we know.
I guess for me, as like the person with the God's view, it's like I know she shouldn't like him, but I guess she does. So it's like a little confusing for me watching it. But then he in this moment just asked her directly about Ju-won, and then she's just like, I really like him. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, conversation over, and then he leaves. And he's like, all right, we're done. So I'm hoping this is like not just like I'm done with this conversation, but like, okay, that's all I had to hear. We don't have to talk about this anymore. I'll move on. Like, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, wasn't a whole lot, but he's a sad boy, and hopefully he'll be over it now.
Yeah, this is where I wrote, like, I don't know what it is. It's like because Yoo Jung is so set on one person that she's like becoming more open and candid with everybody. Like I'm starting to like her.
Okay.
I just liked how when she was like asking Dahae and Dongjin questions like right from it. I thought that was great.
I was just like, why would you poke this bear? Jeez.
And then she was having more candid conversation with Changjin too, which I'm all in favor of that.
I do appreciate that. Yeah.
Hey, by the end of this, I might be the biggest Kwante Yoo Jung stand that watches the show.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right, do we have to talk about Songjun?
Yes. We do. Yes, we do.
Okay. I remind you, I 2x through this, so.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Songjun was with Kwante and Hui-hyun in their house, and she explains herself being upset about Min-hyung wearing that outfit. And this is where we finally get that it was like the first gift she ever gave him. And I'm like, okay, I guess there's something there in terms of being a little upset about it. It still seems unreasonable to me, but it's slightly more reasonable than he just wore some clothes I like to a date and I'm mad about it. Okay. But yeah, you know what? Here's some props for your dude Kwante, because like
Kwante's awesome. He clutches in here. He's so reasonable.
He's just like,
grounded in
you
reality,
have a right,
this man.
You have a right to feel upset about that, but Min-hyung told you that he didn't mean anything by it and he didn't think about it. and you should believe him instead of assuming the worst about the situation.
It's not just that. He pulls up some details that we didn't know about, where like the date that he was supposed to go on with Salkyun was like supposed to be on like a yacht or something, but then they found out at like the last second that the yacht was like canceled because it was too windy or something. So then he like had to like go change his outfit decision at the last second.
Right.
And then I don't know if Quante is actually his roommate. Maybe
he is not.
He's not.
He's just up in everybody's business.
But Quante had like the thought of like, yeah, he had to change last second. Maybe he just went in and grabbed whatever, didn't think about it.
And then Sung Jong sees the error of her ways and turns around and is reasonable. Oh wait, no.
No. I think her reaction to this is like, now she's like more mad at Min Hyung because she's like, you told Quante the story from your perspective, and now Quante thinks I'm unreasonable.
Yeah.
and he's like, or like everybody would just think you're being unreasonable because you are being unreasonable.
That's even worse for her because apparently, like,
yeah, you actually said that out loud a little bit. I was like, it's like you're right, but
because she says like every time they fight, like she's always the bad guy because he has a way with words, and apparently, like a way they would argue about things is he would frequently be like, everyone would think you're being ridiculous right now. Like everything she does wrong is like, nobody does it like that. What are you talking about? Which is not like a great trait to have. That's pretty kind of gross way to talk to a person.
In this instance, though, he's actually right. Though.
Oh, yeah. In this instance, 100%.
And this is the only actual factual instance that we know about.
Yes. No, that's not true because later, I mean, he does say it about this, but like, it is kind of proof that he does speak this way to her, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to believe that Sungjan, in every situation that they argued, was being totally unreasonable, but I can also see how, based on the evidence, that maybe she's very unreasonable about something.
Yeah.
Not just the
I want to be clear at the end of this, I don't like either of them. But I do think that even though we come in with some strong Sungjan is unreasonable energy, I don't think Min Hyung is innocent or nice or good in any way at the end of this either. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a terrible backstory if you believe it. Yeah, if you believe the backstory, it seems like he's like on Heedu's level, right?
Yeah,
but we watched Heedu behave with new people the same way he behaved with Nayeon, and we saw how he behaved with Nayeon in the TV show, so we can pretty much confirm that everything. Right. That Nayeon said about Heedu was how he behaved. Whereas we don't actually have the evidence, I don't think.
Right, because he's been on the show for 2 days and he's not going to be dating anybody else really at all. Yeah. So, like, we're not going to get that opportunity. But that doesn't mean he's not like Heedu. We just can't prove it.
Yeah, we have evidence that Sung Jong overreacts to very small details and then plays, like, the victim card, right? So it's hard to totally believe her side of their backstory because of that.
But I will say that when they go into their backstory, he says things that agrees with what she says.
Okay.
Like, so let's go into it. They met because they had a mutual friend. They're both skaters, whatever. And they didn't like each other at first. And then for some reason, when they were in the same town, she went, hey, let's go get a meal. And that's like kind of how they started. He then said he liked her and they started dating. And the whole thing around them is them being like super serious about marriage for whatever reason. I don't know. There's highlighted a lot in here.
How long did they date for?
They literally dated for less than 3 months and they broke up 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like,
this is fucking stupid.
You shouldn't be on this is too soon.
This shouldn't be a serious enough relationship to be on the TV show. And it's only been 6 weeks. Because there's a point in time where like it felt like, oh, okay, they dated for a long time and they've been broken up for a while. And I was like, oh, maybe this Min Hyung, like maybe he was bad before, but he hasn't seemed so bad now. It's like, wait, it was only 6 weeks ago? Like, nothing's changed in their relationship in 6 weeks. Come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What's fucking crazy about all this? I mean, we still have the whole backstory to get through, but like, regardless of how terrible you think Min Hyung was, she just wants to get back together with him. And she was the one that broke up the relationship. So all the evidence points to her being just like a crazy, ridiculous, unreasonable person.
Oh, yeah. like I said, neither of them are good at the end of this. I'm off Team Singjung.
The nagging that they're going to talk about, it seems to be very centered around their thoughts of like getting married and having kids, and like so like he's
trying to form her into like the wife he wants, which gross.
I don't know if he framed things about like, oh, like when we're married, like you won't be able to do this, or like when you're a mom, you have to act like this. And I guess that wouldn't come up on this TV show, which means we won't see it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it just seems like there's a lot of their relationship arguing, and most of it is centered around like her, I guess, not living up to expectations that he has about how she should behave. Like he kind of says in his own confessional about it, like he would tell her things that he didn't like and did like, and he's like, to try to like turn her into, you know, to get her ready for being married to me. And it's like, that doesn't sit well with me.
Also, they've only been dating for 3 months, though. Like,
I know.
3 months, you're still in that phase of just, like, telling each other what you like and don't like, right? Like, it's not like they dated forever, and then all of a sudden, they were thinking about marriage, and then he was like, you know, now that I think about it, you have all these flaws that you need to fix.
It was like right out the gate, you have all these flaws you need to fix. Like, that's seems to be what happened.
Yeah. I can't even tell, like, is he just saying what he like and doesn't like, and then like Songjung is internalizing this as like some great criticism? I don't know. It's just hard to tell.
She says like he would not let her check her phone while they're eating, like, which is a weird thing to like feel like he has that amount of control over her phone or whatever.
Well, it's like a politeness thing that he, for some reason, he is triggered by. But yeah.
Yeah, but like at a certain point, like, okay, like if I'm dating someone, we're on dates, I'm not going to check my phone on the date or whatever. But like at a certain point, when we like live together, it's like not every meal we have together is going to be sacred, and I'm not going to check my phone. Like it might be like, oh, something's wrong with work, I got to deal with this, or you know, like you can't be that way forever. Like, there's a certain amount of politeness, yes, but, like, come on, my dude, chill out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I totally don't agree with that, like, OCD of a lifestyle, but some people are like that, yeah.
And yeah, so a lot of these things she says he would compare her to normal people. And so she's always harping on about how it destroyed her self-esteem because she just didn't do things the way normal people did or whatever.
Yeah. But these are are these his words, or is this her interpretation of what he's
That's saying? Her interpretation, but he definitely says like that he nagged her a lot and was like trying to kind of change her into the person he wanted to marry. And there is a moment when they are arguing during all of this stuff where she tries to leave and is like, okay, I'm done with this conversation, and tries to go back into the house. And they don't show it from the outside. They show it from inside the house. But she goes to open the door, and he, like, slams the door shut and gets in between her and the house and won't let her in. And that gives me bad vibes.
Yeah, that's what I thought the main thing you were going to talk about, yeah. Yeah. Not fun to watch. Not fun to talk about. Yeah, they shouldn't be here.
Oh, yeah. And so a lot of this argument that they're actually having real time is he's so disappointed in how she's behaving here. Oh, yeah, and before, like, the door, he says something like, don't make me do this. And I'm like, that's not a phrase you should ever say. Yep.
I didn't catch
that's not a phrase you say to someone. Nope, I don't like that.
That's not good, yeah.
And, yeah, at some point, she's just like, okay, I'm fucking leaving the show. We're done.
But also, I want to get back together with you.
Oh, yeah, she does. Like, he asks her what she wants at some point, and she's just like, I want to get back together with you. And I'm like,
yeah.
But why? I don't get it. And they show her literally on the phone with the director, and she's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. But then it seems like he comes back to be like, calm down, okay, it's fine. So who knows if they're actually on the show or not. Oh, and when he's just like telling her to stop crying like all the time. And I'm like, stop it, dude. Like, she's upset. Like, you don't tell people to stop crying. I don't know. He does not give me good vibes. Like, I don't have concrete proof of anything, but he feels bad.
Yeah, I agree.
She also feels unreasonable and a little unhinged. So I don't like either of them, but I'm not giving him a pass just because we haven't seen as much from him.
Yeah. It's bad. I just know that she's terrible. Like he is clearly like not good at like diffusing a situation. Like he says stuff that clearly is gonna only upset her more, even though I totally agree with him. Like,
and it's like the way he says it too. Like he's like a dad giving her a lecture on how she's a disappointment, and like nobody acts like this. I mean, yes, but also like
I mean she's being insane, but
yeah, but like I also wouldn't be surprised if he turned out to be a total Hidu type person. Like those are kind of the bad vibes I'm getting from him.
Hidu just like he was doing it with the new people he was dating, which is like a whole nother level of like
but this man has gone on one date, like
that's true.
He's gone on one date.
Yeah. So do we have to talk about them the rest of the show, even if they stay on? Do we?
It depends on what crazy shit happens. I don't know. If he gives us actual evidence of him being more Hidu-esque or shitty in some other way, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that.
I guess Minhyung's gonna have a date next episode. Songjong does not.
Again, if they're on this show anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a point where like after he asks her what she wants, and she's like, I want to get back with you. He's just like, well, he didn't even have to come on the fucking show for that. Like he obviously was like, I would be back together with you if you had just asked me outside of the show. It would have been fine.
Maybe she didn't realize she wanted to get back together until he showed up. Is I guess
maybe
the only thing that makes sense. Because it was she broke up with him. It was his idea to come on the show, and now she's saying she wants to get back together.
No, I thought it was her idea to come back on the show or come on the show.
I have he invited her on the show, but maybe listeners will.
I don't remember
clarify.
now.
I mean, she broke up with him, so I feel like it makes more sense if he invited her on the show.
Yeah, but just
I guess it could be the other way.
His comment of like, we didn't even have to come on the show if that's what you wanted, sounded like it was her that invited him, but I don't remember.
No, it would make more sense. Like if he invited her on the show. If she just wanted to get back together, why would they go on the show? Because like he came on the show because he wanted to get back with her. If she wanted to get back with him, then they didn't even need to be on the show.
Well, yeah, but that's why him saying we didn't even have to come on the show if you wanted to get back together makes more sense if she invited him.
Okay, I'm thinking about it the exact opposite. Okay.
Well, because if he wanted to get back together and went, hey, let's get back together, and she wanted to get back together, they just get back together,
Well, he hasn't said he wants to get back together yet.
Well, him saying we didn't even have to come back on the show to get back together, I think heavily implies that he just wants to get back together. And also we get that after she broke up with him, he was like, please, no, let's be together still. And that was only 6 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I don't need to talk about that the rest of the show. It's just
yeah, it's not great. Do not love.
Insane level.
Yeah.
Songjong is literally impossible to have a conversation with.
It is such an abrupt change from like how she was before he came on the show. Like she was just this ball of sunshine and seemed like so fun. And now it's just like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Where did this come from?
Yeah.
But maybe the vibes must have been there because nobody's been picking her, right?
I don't think these were the vibes people were feeling.
Or maybe vibes that she wanted to get back with her ex, because he does say that at some point that she's been acting to everyone else like she wants to get back with him. And so maybe they just weren't showing that.
That's possible. Yeah.
And then that's why nobody was picking her. Because even before her ex showed up, she was just talking about how much she wanted to get back with her ex.
It's hard to show that you're like unreasonable when you want to have an argument with somebody until you have an argument with somebody.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, just them not showing her wanting, like talking about her ex or wanting to be back with her ex.
There's actually a good chance she talked about her ex a lot, because I feel like once she's been here, she has like kind of just like casually in conversations, like she just mentioned to some people at some point that she had talked to her ex about like marriage before. And it didn't look like it came up in any context. It was just like whenever she does talk to anybody show and we see it, it's just like her kind of sitting there and hanging out, and then she's like, yeah, this is way tougher than I realized it was going to be. And then she kind of like initiates to the group, whoever she's with, like her ability to talk about her ex. She doesn't really get asked about her ex. She just kind of
brings it up on her own.
Complains about him. She complains about having the emotions that everybody else has had this whole time.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but this is not fine. So
yeah, this is not fine.
Yeah. All right. We're done.
You're done.
That wasn't actually the end of the episode. The end was
Ju-on being like, I'm in the palm of your hand.
Which is actually interesting. Like, they didn't leave her quitting the show as like the cliffhanger. So maybe they were like, yeah, we know this is not.
This is not what you're here for.
Yeah. And some of the people that in the comments that seemed like they might have soured on this show a little bit, it's probably because of this, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Oof.
But there are some things that I want to watch, but I'd be totally down to just like skip any segments with these two in them, honestly.
No, I'm out here looking for more bad behavior from him now. I need to know.
Yeah, so they actually end it with the Ju-won Seokhyun stuff as the cliffhanger. So I like that. Seems like that's something that's important to the show that might have ramifications going forward.
Yeah. The preview for next time seemed to indicate that.
Let's go.
I think also the show knows that that's more fun to watch than that whole mess we just talked about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they ended an episode in season 2 with like Hidu crying in the streets after they talked in the extra room or something. But
that is true.
Maybe they learned their lesson.
I don't know. These are different producers now. You know, they've got a different approach. There has been less crying in the streets than last episode. Not no crying in the streets, but less crying in the streets.
All right, where do we go from here?
We done. We did it. This is the episode.
All right. Yeah. I seriously might just not watch their segments. If you
okay.
If there's like actually something you need to tell me, you can tell me. But
I will report in
for my own sanity
as necessary. Okay.
I think I know. I have enough experience with the show. I know, right? Maybe the list. If you can leave a comment and you're like, no, you have to watch it. It's so good. But you know. I mean, the listeners know. If I'm just gonna hate it and complain about it, unless you want to hear me hate on it and complain about it,
I think they might like you hating it.
They like you hang on it. Okay, if you like me hating on it, but if my hating on it is like, yeah, we don't need to talk about this. It sucks. Is that hating on it? Is that hating on it enough?
I don't know.
That's like the ultimate hate on it. It's like it's not even worth my time.
But there'll always be me being like, no, I have to address why this is wrong. I cannot stand by and let this be
I mean, it's obvious that it's wrong, right? Like, do we have to?
Like last season with Hidu, I felt like the show, the hosts gave Hidu a lot of passes for very bad behavior, and I had to come in and be like, no, this is not okay.
There was a big thing in these 2 episodes where an ex, I don't know if it was always an ex, but like, I guess it probably was always an ex. Like an ex would kind of say something like snippy or snarky to their ex. And then they'd cut the host and be like, "Oh, that's so cute that they're doing that."
Yeah,
like, you know, it's like I think it's like when Dongjin started, kind of talking about Dahye.
I was surprised, like with that part, the hosts were a lot like, "Oh, he's just really upset about how rude she's being, like was being by not helping Ju-won with the cooking." And I'm like, "No, that's just jealousy, guys. This is not."
What eventually got to the point where they actually admitted that, Dongjun was being unreasonable.
Yeah. But at first they're like, "Oh no." Yeah. It took a little while, but they got there.
Was there like even a point in season 2 where they were like, "I think Hidu's being unreasonable"? I don't know.
I don't know.
So next time we'll be talking about Transit Love 3. Probably 16 and 17, but you know. I mean, if half of an episode is Songjoon and Mingyu, we can just skip it, and then we can do 3 episodes.
Yeah, but you know I won't skip it.
I mean, more work for you, less problem. Work for me. Yeah, so probably 15 or 16 and 17. But we'll see. We'll just go with the flow. Whatever works for us. At some point, or not at some point, I'll be moving. I have a big move coming up in early June, moving to a new house.
Yes.
Which I think we should be able to finish up Transit Love 3
before then. Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'll probably be like really busy for like a week or 2. So maybe we'll have to take
a little break.
A short podcast hiatus then, but I think we should be able to at least finish up Transit Love 3.
Yeah.
Before then.
Hey, you know what else is at the end of May? Our podcast anniversary.
Is it? What do you have a date on that?
I do somewhere, but I forget what it is right now. But it's generally the end of May. We will have done this podcast for 2 years.
Is that based on the date the podcast was published, or the date we recorded it?
Published, not recorded.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
So there you
go. All right. Sweet. Was it 2 years? Only 2 years?
2 years. Only 2 years.
Jesus. Feels like a lifetime.
With episodes like this, it feels like longer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where can people contact us, Sarah?
People can email us at keepwatchingpod@gmail.com, tweet at us at keepwatchingpod, Instagram at us at keepwatchingpod, leave a comment under this video on YouTube also at keepwatchingpod. And if you want to weigh in on whether or not we can just completely skip all these Song Chung segments going forward or not, you can leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yes.
Or also just in the comments. Yeah. I gotta fix this whole thing I'm doing here.
What is your favorite part of what we talk about? Like, do you like when we shit on people, or do you like when we are vibing with people?
Yeah, why do you listen to this?
That'd be good to know. I mean, it's probably like all of it in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I always like feel bad. Sometimes if I really don't like the show, I feel bad saying how much I don't like certain aspects of the show. Which I think got to some people at some point in season 2 of the show, because we were the middle second half of the season.
It got rough.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where we've kind of entered into that here.
Yeah.
And I do want to get, since it feels like we're treading water, I want to get to the point where the exes can date each other.
Mm-hmm.
But that could make it worse. Also. But I'm actually attached to a storyline here, which it feels like it might be happening. So I'm definitely, there's something for me to grab onto this season. So I'm enjoying this season more, I think, than season 2.
Same.
Especially this deep into the season.
Yeah, people have been less terrible than last season. I mean, maybe we are now entering a whole new level of terrible with these two, but maybe they'll just leave the show and it's fine. I don't know.
Also, I wrote down it's interesting that both cases of a guy lowering the self-esteem of their partner are skaters. Weird.
Yeah, maybe don't trust men on ice. Yeah.
Don't date men who are good at ice skating.
It's just a bad time.
That and all Mingyus are amazing.
These are the things we've learned from Korean dating shows.
Yeah, with massive sample size.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
absolutely.
Okay. Also, Song Jung also skates too. She's not that good.
Yeah, maybe it's not just men on ice.
It's not men on ice. It's just
people on ice. Bad time.
3 is getting pretty big of sample size. Maybe the crossover, like people who skate and would be casted on a reality dating show. That's true. A messy bunch of people.
So hot people on ice, don't trust them.
Well, they're only being cast on this show, which is interesting. We haven't got any skaters on other shows, have we?
I don't think so. But we've not gotten anybody nearly as terrible as people we've gotten on this show. Just because this show allows you to show your terrible side more, you know?
Yeah, what about Singles Inferno, bro?
Yeah.
I think he's as bad.
That was pretty bad, too. Don't trust hot athletes. Is I think maybe where we're going with
because that's how he was without, it wasn't even exes.
Yeah. That was him on his quote-unquote best behavior.
Yeah, he was like smarmy.
Ugh. Not a fan.
With new people. Imagine if he had exes. Yeah. He
told a person he met a couple days ago to sleep at the bottom of his bed like a dog.
Yeah. Juwon better cash in those wishes before
I forgot about the wishes.
Before Seokhyun before everything about with Seokhyun gets out, you know.
Maybe his wish will just be like, Yoo-jung, be chill about this. Bye.
Okay. Seems like a waste of a wish, but all right.
Well, if you're already out on that relationship, you don't have much use for the wish otherwise, so, you know.
You get like, I don't even know. Haven't cashed a lot of wishes in my lifetime. All right, whatever. Let's get out of here. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.